Hello, hello, hello. All right, I am streaming here. I started this was going to be a video, and of course something got screwed up, and it wasn't streaming, or wasn't recording, so I decided, you know what, do it as a stream. So let me go ahead and I will, I'm just still setting up here a little bit, and then I'll kind of go through with what I'm working on and what I was doing here, and then I will get with you guys here a little bit, and then just trying to get everything set up that I need to be set up here, so. Okay. Everything's deciding that it's going to be difficult today, so I'm just trying to work through all these. Oh, come on. Can't copy stuff? What are you doing, man? Trying to work through the technical difficulties of everything that's being difficult today, so. If we can get through the difficulties, we'll be in good shape here. Oh my god, why will you not? Can't copy the live link. What is going on there, dude? Very interesting. Nothing's easy. Let's do this. Let's try to copy it through here. Once I figure out what I'm doing here, we'll be all set here. Is it my keyboard? Appears to be my... No, it's not. Won't let me paste something. All right, lovely. Let me just try to work through some of these technical issues here. You gotta be kidding me here. What the hell's going on here? Keyboard not working right? Keyboard's not working. Hello, hello, hello. Yep. I'll be with you guys in the chat in a second. I'm just trying to work through some of these technical difficulties. They're being quite obnoxious. I'm having copy paste issues, so I'm trying to get those set up, and then I'll be right with you guys. Yes, nothing's pasting, so I don't know what's up here. This is very strange here. Okay. All right. All right, let's go ahead and I'll get started here. So, hello, Jake. How are you? Yep. So this is I was going to do a video on this, and then I ended up realizing it was not recording. So I'm currently trying to work on this warplane. So, kind of catch everybody up here once I kind of get caught up myself here. So, you know, I was going to start doing a new series for the Warzone videos called Military Design Bureau, and it's going to be, you know, Warzone is pretty much me just flying them and doing fighting, and so this is going to be more of me actually doing the building of it, and so it's going to be either live builds or Military Design Bureau, and so I'm kind of, you know, let me see if I have the pictures. No, there's pictures. There we go. So I'll show you a picture here. So this is kind of, you know, I'm getting some inspiration here of what I'm working on. So I kind of like this design of having a big, huge engine and having the cockpit towards the tail. And so that's kind of what I'm going for, is just that general kind of orientation with that. The currently, so this whole nacelle was taken off Proteus. So this is Proteus's nacelle. So Proteus has 4 of these engines, and I'm trying to run it with one. So the same engine that's on the Akranaplan, same engine that's on Proteus. So I'm currently doing general design and shaping and trying to get this to be functional. So currently doing that. Let's see where we can get on that. I took the Sky Raider's cockpit just so that I don't have to completely redo a cockpit. Yeah, so just try to get this. Right now, I'm trying to get these wings kind of integrated a little bit. And so once I kind of get that done up, we'll be good shape here, I think. It's going to be a mess with colors. I'm going to have to color swap a lot of these out. But I think we're coming along pretty well in the shaping here of how that's going. Again, I'm still kind of working a little bit, trying to get set up here. The setup stage of this was kind of a mess. Like I said, I started trying to do it as a build video and then didn't record, and then the live took like 3 tries to get it set up. So something up with that. It's not behaving itself either. So I'm trying to get this all set up here. Let's see, can I do a 4 sideways and make this integrate properly? Probably not. No, it's not going to want to integrate there, so I need to try to get this integrated. You see how I can do this. The problem is I have those there, so I kind of almost need that. You know, that's the problem with using these 2x wedges, is they can be sometimes a pain to get integrated. So that's not bad. I don't hate that. I actually kind of dig that a little bit. So that's not bad. I'm kind of digging that integration there. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. So we'll stick with that. Just kind of quickly going through some of my stuff here. All right, good. I don't need that up. I have like 1,000 windows open trying to get this all set up. So, you know, just bear with me for a minute as I kind of get this fixed. So that needs to stay. All right, so kind of talk to you what I've done so far. So this is the engine off Proteus. I pulled one of the 4 nacelles out. Engine should be all set up, primed to go. Microcontrollers in there. It has currently a Sky Raider's cockpit on there. I've done the wing, the elevators, the rudder. I have flaps and ailerons. I did a balance test, so I'll show you guys the balance test. So if we put it on balance test, as you see, you want the wheels dependent upon which direction you're going. If you're doing a tail dragger, you need the wheels just ahead of the center of gravity. The closer to the center of gravity, the better. That way it makes it so the elevators have a very easy time lifting it up. As you can see, we have a very long nose, and we have no problem because that's where the center of gravity is. We want the center of lift where the wings are by the center of gravity. I like the flaps a little bit behind center of gravity. That's pretty standard. What else do we have here? We're going to do kind of old school style ailerons. So the way that works is this aileron will go down to lift this wing. This one will stay static. This one does not cause a decrease in lift. We get an increase in lift on this. We get neutral on that. And that's how we do our turning. It also makes it look nice and streamlined. So the prop is reasonably sized, so I should be able to take off and land fine. I have good clearance, so we need to check prop clearance. Prop clearance is good. We're sitting nicely here. The angle's not too ridiculous. Tail draggers, you had to kind of wiggle waggle as you were taxiing because, as you can see, you can't see right in front of your nose. So you'd kind of look here, and then you would make a little turn, and then you can look where you're missing your vision. So you kind of wiggle waggle as you're going down the runway. It does, just because you still want to be able to lift your tail off the ground. You know, you can take off, you know, and certain tail draggers did take off with their wheels in the ground, but ideally, here, I'll show you a second here. So if you look at your center of gravity, the further forward the center of gravity is, you can lift that up. You are getting lift off this, but the closer you can get it to center of gravity, the easier it is, and just the less, you know, of course, realistically, you have to worry about breaking your horizontal tail fin. In game, you don't have to worry about that. So I try to kind of build realistically, you know, just because it makes my mind hurt having a degree in aeronautical science. I kind of try to do things realistic, even if you don't need to do it in game. I tend to do it just because of, that's what my training's in, so I try to do it like that just so that it doesn't break my brain. So that's why I do it that way is realistically you'd want it as close as possible or else you're going to struggle to actually get it off in real life. But of course, game, not real life, but that's why I do it that way. All right, did this actually do symmetry on that side? Fine, yep. Yeah, for a while there I was not doing symmetry and I was moving wings, so that's why I'm having to go fix some of those issues. All right, so we are pretty well set up for this. I'm going to start working on the gear. I think I'm going to do inward folding gear, no gear doors, open bays. I think that's what I want. So I have, what do we, 1, 2, let's do a count here. So pinky blocks, usually my measuring blocks. So we have 3 for the leg, and we have 2 for the wheel. So we're talking 5 there. So we're rotating here, so we're losing 1, so we need 4. So that's it there. So let's go ahead and we will cut, 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 like that. That should account for our gear. And then we will cut the corners, and we're ready to put in open gear bays. I always liked open gear bays. On the Embraer 145, we had open gear bays. 737 has open gear bays. Oh, that needs a block in there. Oh, what are you doing there? Get out of there. Right here. Okay. So we're gonna have open gear bays. What's that accounting for 2 now? Did I cut them in the right spot? I don't know. We'll see when I bend it. We'll see if I put them in the right spot. But there. Okay. So I'm going to rebuild these out once I put my pivots in. I like getting the gear in a little early. Next thing's fueling. Again, I'm trying to get all the functional elements in before I worry about, other things. Because if it doesn't function, then I have to rethink what I'm doing. So. And those can't be cut together. I need to cut them separately because I want them to move independently. All right, so let's do, we'll do a gear test here. So I'm going to bring it up on jack stands. So in real life, you have often jack points around the center of gravity. They're usually like access point, and then you have a little cup that would accept a jack pin, and you would set it up on the jack stands, and then that's how they do gear testing. So that's good there. Let's go ahead and do a pinky throttle here and just test them. Just want to make sure they should go in. I hopefully measured correctly, but are we having a symmetry problem here? Let's see. No, we just have we have a symmetry problem here. Oh, you're killing me, symmetry. Get back on symmetry. There we go. Oh, I didn't put them in the same spot, did I? Where did I put it? Right there. Right here. Okay. Nope, well, whatever. That will sit, so it's just jack stands anyway. So let's go ahead and we'll jump up and we'll test these. Test the gear. Infinite electricity, please. Thank you. And I didn't cut them. They fit. I need to cut the wells. So I need to cut the wells. So the wells need to be cut there. All right, let's do another gear test. All right, nice. So we'll go. They're not liking that. That's pretty good right there. What are we at? It's at 100. It's just a little bit wonky off. If I could shorten the gear up 1, that's about what I want. So let's see if I can do that. So I probably measured it 1 off. I'd actually like to drop the height just a hair if I can anyway. So we'll see. I'm worried about the propeller. I don't want to have to keep the nose down too much. I would like the tail to rise a little on takeoff, as is natural, but we'll see. So I'll test this out, and with that super long nose, that helps with doing that. That's better. Okay, so I measured it 1 off. So gears in the gear wells. It does have a big engine. That's the engine off of Proteus and the Acranoplan. So that was kind of the point, was I wanted a big stinking engine. Hello, John Smith. I wanted a big stinking engine. I wanted it to have a really far setback cockpit. I'm kind of one of my favorite fighters, kind of having this this. Let me bring up the screen. This rearward cockpit design. I really like that, it being close by the tail. That would be pretty sickening. You really don't want the cockpit too far back from the center of rotation. If it's too far back from the center of rotation, you tend to make yourself nauseous because you'll be doing a lot of positive and negative G's. If you're at the center of rotation, right over the center of lift, the plane rotates around you and you have very little movement. Like, when I was in the airlines, let's bring up what I flew. If we bring up the ERJ, I think I've actually flown this particular airplane. Yeah, I think I flew this one. Center of rotation's right about here off the wings, and so you see how far we were sitting ahead of it. So you have very large movement as you pitch, and the people in the tail have a lot of movement. So we would move a lot more than people here. People here have very little relative motion on rotation, and we would have the most being all the way up front. So it's kind of interesting how that all works. All right, so that is set. Let me check. I need to do a balance test again because of that. Let me see. So I need to do a balance test. I have like 1,000 windows open, so making things challenging. All right, so gear rotation is good. Those are set. So let's go ahead and let's take it off the jack stands. Now I need to do a balance test. I need to check the pitch angle. I need to check the prop clearance. These are all things that I need to check. So every time I change something, I need to do that. I actually want to move that tail wheel back a little bit. So that tail wheel is going to go back. That's not bad. See that when it comes up, I need to really monitor that prop from hitting. So I can either move. I kind of want this sitting low. I want to make it easy to get on and off. I'm going to have to land very much with the tail low, or else I'm going to have issues. Yeah, KSP is pretty realistic in trying to get all your center of lift, center of thrust, center of gravity all set up, and that's that was what my degree was all in. The aerodynamics section of that was all about that, and so I have a little bit of a head start on that stuff. And if you can get these things established correctly, you really can minimize the amount of things like gyro. Like, you don't need much gyro if you get the forces all in line. So next thing I want to do is I want to get fuel established. I want in-wing fuel, and I need to feed the engine, and so I need to get that started now so that, again, I want my necessary systems in there. Where are we at here? I need to make sure I don't cut out my lights. Okay, good. So I'm going to go symmetry's on. I'm going to start cutting the wing. I need to get as much space as I can. I probably don't need a ton of fuel in this sucker, but I do need some. So let's go there for now. I need to find where my fuel manifold is. It's somewhere in here. It's on this right side. Where are you at, fuel manifold? Right here. So that's the fuel manifold there. So I'm just going to pipe it for now so I know where I'm at. This is an air-cooled engine. I do that for RP reasons. These would be air-cooled. And then I'm going to have to split it at some point. So I'll split it here to go to both wings. That's there. Okay, and then I'll... all right, let's start cutting this wing root here, and then that will get me all set up to do some symmetry once I get off of this here. So, okay, and then I can start going. So, just trying to get the basic elements that must be done, and that way I know I'm in a good spot. This is kind of digging into where I wanted my oh, what do you call it? My cockpit, my hatch controls for my cockpit to go. I could fill this. I could fill this with fuel too. I might do that just to. So one thing you often have is you'll have a essentially like it's almost like a mixing tank. And so, for example, let's say you have fuel in the port wing, you have fuel in the starboard wing. Let's say you bank to the right. All this fuel is going to run towards the center. This fuel is going to run away from the sump. it says 48 cylinders. They're in radial configuration. They're in an X pattern. I have my Sky Raider is more of a radial. It has double stack radial, so it's not really a radial. This is more like a regular recip, kind of like an X or a W engine, but it's the my Sky Raider has more of a simulated radial. So like I was saying for example, let's say you have a Cessna, high wing Cessna. What you'll do is you'll have a tank here, you'll have a tank here, and they both feed into a central tank, and that way the fuel will still feed into the main feed tank, no matter if you're banking or not. Game doesn't really matter with that, but what's good with that is when I have a thin wing like this, I need to try to get the fuel in here. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I might flood this central section. I think I will. So let's go and let's flood this central section. And so let's go ahead and we will add straight pipe here. And then I just want, you know what I'm going to do? Let's get rid of the symmetry. Let's get rid of that. I don't need that anymore because I'm going to do it a different way. So I'm going to do a kind of a mixed tank, which is a little bit, this can go, I don't even know what that is. That's part of the Sky Raider, so I'll have to worry a little bit later about how I'm doing some of the stuff, but let's go fluid port. This is going to be my feed for my engine. All right, and then this here, that I can't have it right there, so I was right with putting that in there, so that's right there. Okay, good. So that goes like that. All right, and then so let me go ahead and fix this. All right, so we're in business here. Okay, good. So I'm set up so I could put a lot of fuel in this. I don't need this much fuel, but I'm gonna do it anyway. All right, so let's start setting up the fuel channels. And then I'll end up sticking microcontrollers in here, but once I have fuel channels in here, we'll be good. So I'm trying to just think of how to set these fuel channels up here. Do double channels here, and then I'm going to do fuel channel like that. We'll do that'll be kind of the mix right there. And then we'll do an open channel on this. Open channel there. All right, so that kind of sets me. Now I need to do the mixing channel right off of these here. So we're going to do the mixing channel. So this allows all these cells to integrate like that. And so now all these cells, so these front cells will run along here. Cells will then run down here. And then I need to do like that. That will integrate these cells. And then I'll see how much fuel I have. There's a good possibility this is much more fuel than I really need. So I'll also be putting microcontrollers in the wings. So, and then all of this is going to mix at the wing root. All right, so that is sealed up. We have fuel cells in there, so I need to put in a spawner in here. This hopefully is sealed up. I have to check this, make sure I'm all sealed. I think I am. Yeah, I should be sealed up in here. Yeah, I should be all sealed in here. And we still have some space for micros and whatnot, so we're doing well. Let me check the chat-aroo. Oh, a little Call of Duty, yes. How's it going, Jason? Yeah, so that should give us ample fuel. I'm going to do a fuel check right now. Oh, lovely. No symmetry, huh? Killing me, guy. Let's see. That sucks. All right, we're going to do this. I hate it when I forget the symmetry. I turn it on and off so many times. This has been kind of a cursed video as it is. It was originally going to be a video, and then I recorded it, made a mistake, stopped it, thought I re-clicked record and did not. So I said, you know what, we'll do it live. Now we'll just do this, and then I will turn the frickin' symmetry back on. All right, and let's go ahead. Let's do symmetry now before I have an aneurysm. Okay, and then let's merge this. That's merged up now. We're good. All right, and then I just need to fix the mixing valves. I keep using the technical terms of like mixing valves. You know, of course, it's simulating what that would do, a mixing chamber, mixing sump. All right, so that is set up there. So we have channels in the wings. Now I need to put in, so this can go here. Where are we at here? Symmetry. These can be, that can get out of there like that. I'm going to go ahead and put a spawner. I think I'm going to cut this. Can I cut this? That's cut there. Good. So spawner and meter going to go either side. So symmetry's off. Spawner, meter on this side. All right, so I'm just trying to think ahead of these problems that I'm going to have before I get in, because again, if kind of my methodology I'm building is I try to make sure that I know this will work, and then once I know it will work, that's when I'm willing to go in and start to actually make other elements work. If the fundamentals work, you know that you're going to get other stuff to work. But you need to get those fundamentals in. So we know that this here is going to be a pain. Not going to be a pain, but we know that that tail wheel steering needs to be sealed. Let's put it that way. So that needs to be sealed. That's sealed from the volume there. And then in here, I can seal it with, if I can get in the right positioning. There we go. So that is sealed now. So that will, you know, that will allow us to have a sealed volume here. I'm not going to want fuel in my tail. I don't want that aft CG. I don't want the center of gravity too far aft. So I'm going to cut that there. And I think I'm actually, you know, I would rather turn down the fuel spawner than not have enough fuel. So I'll do that. So this should be in a closed volume. Let's do a run here on the, again, I want to test my fuel. So let's do a dial. Let's run dial to fluid level. Spawner should be good. I actually don't know what's in my base. I might, I probably don't have any fuel in there. Where the hell are the fuel? The diesel tanks in here. What are we looking at here? 3,300 liters. So I need to convert everything to gallons. So we're talking a third. Yeah, that's a lot of fuel. All right, that's good. Good amount of fuel in there, so we know we could check that off the list. Yeah, it's kind of. I think there were some Italian fighters that look like that. I'm kind of leaning more towards. Oh, I probably closed it already by now. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So I'm kind of leaning towards this Soviet design as kind of some of my inspiration there. Again, it's not the greatest design. How, you know, they're barely behind the center of rotation, so that's not too bad. If they were further back from the center of rotation, you know, it'd be nausea city. But you know, I don't think it's too bad. And again, it's in a game. You know, you're actually not going to be facing the G forces. Center of rotation's probably actually right about there, so we're just barely. Yeah, the yak. I love the yak. And so we're just barely behind the center of rotation. So, you know, it could even make us a little nauseous game if it was too extreme. This area is a little bit yuck, but I might, you know, we'll look into that. I might fix it or not. Well, we'll see. But, all right, so we have the basics. We have fuel. We have air. We're running supercharger. This needs to be fixed. We're running supercharger off of these intakes. I have my air cooling, so I'm cooled via air. The air goes in here, forced rammed air on the bottom, air outlet on the top. That tended to be how they did it. You had your cowl flaps, which would let air, you know, you had forced air come in the front over the cooling fins. Braking, you know, I can do ABS braking, but the main thing is with a tail dragger, you don't have much issue with braking because you don't need to brake much because you can rotate it 180 degrees with the tail wheel, and it stops on a dime. It tends to be a procedure thing, so you want very little braking, and you want to do a 180 rotation to stop is the best way to stop with a tail dragger. So we have forced air in and then we have air out. So often you would have front open cowls and the air would come in and it would go over the fins and then you could close the cowl flaps and then open them up. So that's kind of what this is simulating. So it's simulating air cooling because I kind of want to bring in a little bit level of realism into this. So, all right, so let's see where we're at here. All right, so we're setting up nicely here, getting along here. Let's go ahead and let's move this forward. And then I want to save it. But I needed a new craft for Warzone, so that's kind of why I just started building this. All right, so Sky Raider's coming in. Sky Raider was a big build, or a big airplane in real life. So that's okay. And so I need to start connecting up some stuff here to. I'm gonna keep the panel. It has kind of a, this is more Korea through Vietnam. This thing lasted forever. So I just kind of need to get this integrated, all the systems integrated here. And we'll get that going. So let's see. These are all my screens. I need to get my canopy set up. So let's do that. That's kind of a... I've been doing a piston on the canopy. It takes up a lot of space, which is kind of a pain, but it works. It's easy and it works well. So let's get the canopy set up. What are you? You are my relay. Okay. You have space in the engine compartment for you? Yes, I do. You're going in there. Okay. Oh, no, these are different relays. Okay, copy. That's not moving. All right, you. What are you? I need to figure out what you do. Brakes. Brake controller. What are you? You are my main engine. Okay, I think I have a lot of extra space on here. Let me check it. Yeah, I've got space. So brakes are going on there. That will save me some space later. Let's do the canopy. What are you? You are nothing, I think. Let me double check that you're nothing. You're nothing, so bye-bye. You are engine. That's good. You are nothing, I think. Yep. Yep. Okay, good. So starting to get some space done here. Let's do the canopy movement here because that means I have to cut and rebuild my build. So see if I can't find that in a reasonable fashion. Okay, so I have like two firewalls almost. So let's cut out some of this firewall here. So I have the upper section here, that's the cockpit. Okay, and then I want to go, let's cut in here. I don't need that much fuel, so I'm trying to conserve a little space here. And then this can go here. Keeping a little bit of wedges there to make that easier to accompany it. So where is my canopy? We'll do it right here. So what I'm doing now is hooking up the canopy so that I can control my canopy. So it's going to be kind of a hidden controller on there with this piston. So all right, so that's there. That's going to move that. That needs to slide 2 blocks, which this should give me 2 blocks. Perfect. All right, so that can be cut back out, and I can undo it. All right, that's perfect. That's connected, so I can fix everything up here. See where we're at here. Coming along well, Dr. Dano. Why do you think the canopy needs to be solid? This would be, what am I putting there? Straight block here. Straight, and straight. We have a lot of wall I can cut into too for any microcontroller issues. So that goes there. Let's go ahead and test the canopy really quick. And right there. I've screwed that up already. Let me go and fix it. Yeah, it's not a replica of anything, so it's not intended to look a certain way. So there's my canopy slide. Nice, nice. Like the canopy a little shorter, but I don't want to have to be looking through the glass that's in my eyeballs. So we'll see how bulky it looks. Once I get the color, it'll stand out a little bit less. So fair bit smaller than the Skyraider. One of the reasons why the Skyraider is so huge is it's pretty close to real life specs. Is the Skyraider actually had a couple seats in the back, so it's one reason why the Skyraider had to be huge, was to hold those people in the back. All right, so canopy is done. So again, I need these things that would be an absolute nightmare to fix later. Done now. All right, so that's good. Let's start getting working on this. So where is my belt junction alternator? All right, let's see. I don't have a HUD, which is nice. We're gonna fly it without a gyro at first. If it flies well without a gyro, I know that I've set it up correctly. If I need a gyro, that means that it's not set up to fly very well. So, I can still fix it, but I have to have the computer do a lot of the work. So let's just start doing some of this while I have symmetry off. All right, beacon. We have our navs. Strobes are on there. Probably wouldn't have them really on a... hopefully finish it up. I'm doing well there, Jason. Yeah, I thought you meant Yak. Yeah, it's kind of inspired by the Yak. It's not going to be the Yak. It's my own design. So I'm hoping to get this finished up pretty. This shouldn't be too long. The cockpit is all... the reason I put the Skyraider in sitting behind it is I'm starting to do microcontroller integration. So I'm moving... if you look, the cockpit was literally yanked out of this and put in here. So that's going to make it so that I'm going to connect all the microcontrollers up, and then I'm good to go. So we're going to go master power. It's going to start going to these. You. What? Backlights. What's that? Throttle. Nope. Don't want the throttles. Don't want the prop. Backlight. That's backlight. Backlight. Backlight, you're connected. Coolant is run automatically by this system. What do I have on here? Coolant pump 1. Coolant pump, so it's all air-cooled. I make my stuff so that, like in real life, you are not putting your throttle all the way forward in this type of an aircraft. You have to manage your heat. You have to do that in real life as well. You have to worry about shock cooling, the supercharger, the turbo. Like when you descend from a high altitude, you cannot pull your throttle back very much because you will shock cool the it's generally a turbo, but they had super turbos in some of these planes, but you'll crack it. You have to be very careful. Starter's going to go to both the starter, and I have a bypass valve. You don't really need it, but I bypass valve the turbo just for the fun of it. Battery, doing one small battery, that's all we need. Alternator, doing trip alternators. Is the same as the Akranoplan and Proteus. That's more than enough power. Throttle. Okay, number 1 throttle. So where are we at here? Throttle. I think this is my throttle on this side. Yep, that's my throttle. Number 1 RPS. Alternator, clutch. I'm going to redo the way the clutch works on this. Fuel manifold is right there. Air manifold is there. Where are you at there? What are you? Piston rod. Okay, that's the pistons. Let's start going into the composites. I don't have an avionics panel in this. That's just left over from being on Proteus. Panel 1, I don't have to worry about that right now. Number 1 engine, any of those. That number 1 panel is not important right now. All right, so the engine is set. Let's go ahead and finish setting up the... Need to set up all these panels. So how do I have these? These are independently controlled, so I need to start hooking those up the way they need to go. So those go all via monitor. So artificial horizon, center top. Center left is turn slip. VSI should be top right. Nope, bottom right. That's altimeter's top right. What do you use? Airspeeds left. And then heading is bottom, and then we're missing altimeter. Where's altimeter? Right here, altimeter. Altimeter goes there. All right, that's set up. All right, so all this junk needs to move in there at some point. Those can all go in the fueling sections. I built the wings, so that would work. Let me see, where are you at? How does what work, Dr. Dano? Let's see what else I need to hook up here. Belt junction alternator. Okay, what? Skyraider main panel. Skyraider main panel. Composite data receipt. What is this? That's my engine panel. So Skyraider. Let's look at the Skyraider real quick. Somebody who's interested in the Skyraider. Skyraider runs off a pretty runs off a more proper radial. So it runs off a big ass radial. It has a lot of torque. Which logic you talking about there? The engine logic? I will be using a stock gyro. This thing should work fine, but I'm not putting the gyro in yet. What are we looking at here? What are you? You've got to be the main engine data. Yep, your main engine data, so I don't need you. You are brakes. I'm going to do brakes off my main panel. Where is my canopy is the question. I'm trying to find my canopy controller. Canopy controller's off my main panel. Of course it is. So the engine controller is going to be the same on this one as it is on the Proteus. The engine control on that's going away. 6-pack, Skyraider 6-pack, altimeter. What are you going to here? Gear rotation, okay, all that. So a lot of this I'm going to rewrite. Shouldn't take me too long. Let me look at the panel really quick, see where we're at here. Panels are pretty simple. The weapons panel is the one that I need that I'm going to integrate over. Master power, battery, engine start stop, battery discharge, brake release, brakes, wing fold. I don't need wing fold, so that's going to go to none. Closed canopy is on 8. Anything else I don't need? Brakes I need, brake release. What? Oh, okay, I have a brake indicator. Wing fold, that's just kind of a nonsensical thing to have on there. Flaps, flap position, flaps down, gear. Your weapons panel. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the panel. That should be pretty quick because, okay, this is gauges here. So engine RPM, temp, fuel, and low fuel. Okay, good. So these are going to go daisy, daisy, daisy. I need a panel read in. Panel reads in there, panel reads out there, so this should be nice and simple to put in there. What's that reading to there? What are you reading to here? Oh, right here. Okay, good. I was going to say, it shouldn't be anything there. Avionics, I don't have. Now, let's see, what else do I need here? Okay, so let's start running numbers here. So I'm going to just quickly start writing down some numbers here. That's going to be the main thing is I have to convert this over to this, but it shouldn't take long. So, and I have some free space on this panel. I have some space for that panel to grow if it needs to. Master power is 1, MP1. MP is also going to do the avionics. In a small aircraft like this, you sometimes have your own avionics switch, but you don't really need it. Battery is 2. Battery is 2. 3 is engine start stop. All right, and I want this to be a flip switch. Okay. Battery charge discharge is 4. So I'll do volts. I kind of change my nomenclature over to volts on this. Volts, and then I think I switched it to -1, +1. All right, good. That's good. Let's see where we're at here. Brake release. Brake release is 5. So BR5. So I start with the brakes on. 6 is brake indicator. that could go to something else if I need it. So that's kind of just use space. I'm gonna probably change that to something else, something useful like low volts or something on. But that will tell me that my parking brake. So that's actually important on a tail dragger. That Frog Curtis was kind of talking about, you have to be careful of brakes. It's called ground looping. You hit the brakes too hard, you'll hit the prop, you'll go forward and flip. But if you still have some airflow over your tail, you can keep your tail down on the ground. So what you actually do is you pull back on your stick, raising the elevators to keep the tail down. It puts more weight on your mains. In this case, it keeps the tail on the ground, and it'll keep transfer weight to the mains. But if you have a full turning tail wheel, you can actually turn and you can spin around in space, and will almost stop you instantly. So 5 is 6. Where are we at here? Brake release 5, 6. 3 is wing fold. I don't need, but that would be 7 is wing fold. So we'll do wing fold 7. 8 is close canopy. 8 close canopy. All right, that's good there. Flaps. 9 is flaps up. Might do incremental flaps on this one. I've been doing manual flap control lately. We'll see. Flaps F position is 10, and then flaps down is 11. Gear is 12. 12. RPM 13. Temp is 14. FG, fuel gallons, is up. If you'll do a G, not look like a 6. 15. Low fuel indicator is 16. LF is 16. All right, so that is all of my engine gauges. So that should be pretty quick to integrate here. Just do a save just for funsies. And let's go in here and let's get rocking on this. So should be able to connect up. A lot of this is already, I have a lot of the engine info already put in there. I just need to start moving it. So master power is 1. So where are we at here? Master power 1. So panel, where's 1 off panel? That's alternator. So generator is, so this is my generator. So generator is going to come on automatically with the master power. So we'll click that on with master power. I don't have a master power output, so I'm going to go logic, output, master power. Master power. Okay, and then that's there. And so just stick it here. I have this extra node already here, so there we go, master power. I still need to connect my PIDs with master power. So right now, that starter is going to be, what's 3? Engine start stop is 3. And then this one turns my PID on with that. So that's fine. Master power is going to actually start up my gauges. Yep, so that's fine. So 3 will also start my engine PID. Yep, so that works out. So that will be, let's actually make this 3 as well. So we'll have the generator connect on engine start. A modern aircraft, you'd have it automatically control it, but something that's kind of, that period, you'd be manually controlling a generator. So let's do that. All right, what are we talking here? Battery is 2. So I need to write out, where's panel? Trying to find where my rights are here. There's my rights panel. We're starting in 1. 2 is, that's, where are we at here? That's Delta 100. Where are we at here? That's battery. Okay, battery to 100. This is right here. This should be 2. What are you talking here? Batteries 2, so that's start channel 1. Let's turn that to start channel 2. So that's battery connected. Then volts is going to be 4. This is my volt read here. So this just tells me if I'm charging or discharging. That goes there. All right, so that's 4. What are we talking there? If I could read my own handwriting, that'd be awesome. Brake release 5. All right, so let's see. So let's go ahead and output park brake. All right, 5. And so I do it as it parking brake release. So it will release when we do that. All right, so that's going to be parking brake release is 5. All right, so that's good. So I'm just starting to check these off as I go. Engine start, stop, volts, brake release. Brake on is just an indicator, so that's going to be a right of, where are we at here? 6. So where's my rights? Rights are right there. So let's go ahead and I will have more rights, but I'll just I'll put them in as I find them. All right, so there is writing that. Wing fold is inoperative. We don't use that. Closed canopy is 8, so I'm gonna probably have to swell this panel at some point. So it's number output. I do have some things I can delete off of there too. Canopy. Where are we at here? Canopy. So we want to run. What number's canopy? Closed canopy is 8. 8. That'll be a -1. We start with open canopy and we close our canopy. All right, so that's established. 8's good. Brake on is good. Flaps up and down is 9 and 10. So I don't have any flap control on this. So I'm going to have to swell this. So let me update this really quick. And we have space for this. I just need to set it up here. This could go in the wing too, so it doesn't have to be in that fuselage. So all this top of the wing, because I'm using the bottom wedges, that's a good spot for all my micros. So I have plenty of space for microcontrollers, which is nice. I have the indicator on. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and swell this. I'll make it wider. All right, let's go ahead and add flaps and brakes. Come on, flaps. I'm going to end up putting the controls through here too. Brakes. All right, I might do I don't know yet if I want to do incremental or not. So brakes are going to be when I do my controls. Flaps going to be now. So flaps 9 position down. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's read a couple on-offs here. So 9 and 11. Let's see where we at here. Trying to think if I want these incremental flaps or not. See, the issue is sometimes, so flaps 45, I could do them in increments of 15, 30, 0, 15, 30, 45 is what I think I'll do. That sounds about right to me. Flaps 45 on a plane like this might be a little bit excessive, but not. We'll see. We'll see how it behaves. If I need to trim some out, we'll do that. Put some pulses on here. All right, and then I will do up down. No, wrong one. Where are we at? Up down counter there. Let's see. 0.25 disabled, enabled, 0 to 1. Actually, I want to go like this. I want the flap readout to be backwards. So no. Yeah. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Okay, I should be able to do that. I'll do it this way. So I'll be, I'll flip them. No, it's still going to read wrong for me. I'll do them the regular way and then I'll convert them later. I'm just trying to get it so the gauge goes in the right direction is essentially what I'm trying to do. So I can convert it later. I don't want to get into it too much now. So 9's going to be flaps up. So we want to go flip these here, go like that. So up will be increasing the number will be this one, decreasing the number will be that, and then we'll have we do flaps up and down. We'll start increment of 0. That's good, that's good, that's flaps. So flaps are done, and then I need to write flaps, so we need to write a number. What are we looking at here? For my number for flap right is 10. So I could add it to something else, but making a new one, I know where it's at right now, and I don't have to deal with trying to redo the right. It's not a huge aircraft, so I don't have to worry about too much lag on it. We do flaps down. So 12 is gear. So we'll go ahead and we'll write up gear. It doesn't take too long to write these panels up here. Might get away with no gear locks on this one. We will see. Hopefully, it'd be nice if I don't have to put gear locks in this, but I might have to. So we'll see. If I'm a little bit careful, I can do it without gear locks, but I might need gear locks. Yes. I should hopefully be in the air quickly on this. That's why I'm kind of hammering this out. Just need to be able to get the engine started. I'm hoping I don't need a gyro to start with because I tend to test it without a gyro to start with. And the purpose of that is if I don't need the gyro, I know that my aerodynamics are set up correctly and that my weight and balance, my center of lift, center of gravity are all set up correctly. And so that's why I'm doing it this way. Actually, I don't want it like this. Let's do an up-down counter. Up-down counter smoother on gear. So we'll do an increment of 0.001. We'll do an increment 0 to 1. Go. That's kind of why I'm hurrying too. So if gear is enabled, it's going to increase. If it's not enabled, where's my not? I had one. There it is right there. And if it's not, it's going to, this will make it so the gear doesn't just go slam down, slam up, slam down, slam up. This makes it move nice and smooth. Because there used to be some of them were pump gear, so they had all sorts of gear back in old timies. Gear there, 0 to 1, we're good. Gear is ready. Okay, flaps are done. RPM is 13. So RPS, where are you at, RPS? I have you converted already here, so that goes to avionics. That's not going to avionics anymore. Temperature's there. Let's convert this over. So temps 14, 13, 14. So I need 13. 2. I want 2. And then channel 3 is temp. And then instead of going to avionics 1, this will go down to, yeah. So I'm going to leave it a little bit dirty and ugly, which hurts my head, keeping things kind of... if you notice, I try to do all my lines squared out, which drives some people nuts, but I always do that, so... what's it? FG, when is that? Okay, I can't remember what I wrote, so let me check it. It's just these last... was it fuel... Low fuel and something else. So I have to check this one. Engine RPM, temperature, fuel gallons. Okay, FG is fuel gallons and low fuel is 16. Okay, so let's go ahead and spawn this really quick again. I need to convert my fuel out. Small aircraft, you'll tend to run your fuel in quantity. So in this case, it's going to be gallons. Large aircraft, you tend to do it in pounds. And so what are we talking there? I'm sliding a little here. 3380, what is it? 3282. So 3283 is 867 gallons. So I'll probably dial that down at some point, but right now that's what we're going to have. So hopefully you get flying soon here. All right, so we have our gallons in there. Let's go ahead and let's write that up. So where are we at here? That's done. I need a fuel meter in here, so battery, RPS, throttle. Okay, good. So fuel meter. Let's see. Number input, fuel. All right. And so where are you? I should be right here. Is that you? Where are you? Fuel. Fuel right here. Okay. So fuel, and what's that writing on? Channel 15. So we'll make you back to 3. So you need to be converted. So we're going to was it 785, 785? Now you're in proper units that I can understand. So, all right, good. So that's done. That's in there. So that's fuel gallons. Low fuel is going to give me an indicator light below 50 gallons. So let's go ahead and let's just do less than. So if fuel in gallons is less than 50, give me an indicator light. I'm going to actually bring this back up where here. Okay, go there. If it's less than 50, 50. Where are we at here? Right on off. And what are you? You are number 16. 16. Oh, not 16 slots there, ding dong. Start at 16. Thank you. Okay, so that's that. I can clean this up quite a bit, but it's good for right now. All right, so that's the panel done. All right, so panel is done. Should be close to getting this engine started here. Hold on, I have stream not up. All right, let's see. So that's pretty good. Let's update that. You connect all the things that I just made that need connections. Avionics 1 can go. That's a thing from Proteus. Just get rid of what I don't need. That way I know I have extra spaces so I don't make the panel bigger if I don't need it to. Park brake, flaps, brakes. All right, I need to hook up my control surfaces, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's go. I think I could save a space on this, so let's go. Number output, pitch, number output roll, number output yaw. And I have the space for brakes now, but if I need to, I'm going to move this. All right. So let's see. They're all here, which I wish they weren't all up in my face there, but they are. Okay. So let's set these up for now, and then where is seat? I saw seat. Seat was disconnected somewhere in here. There it is. Okay, so seat. I didn't mean to make 4, but I did. So 80s 1, WS 2. Left right is going to be 3. Throttle, I need throttle is on the throttle, so that's fine. Actually, I want to change that. Yeah, I'm going to change that. That's fine. So this will be 4. All right, and then let's go pitch. I'm sorry, I'm already screwing this up. Roll, pitch, yaw, and then brakes will be function negative x, negative x. So this is when I bring the thrust all the way. Nope. That should not be on that. That should be on thrust. So that should be off this, but negative x on that will be brakes. All right, and then I need to figure out, put in my throttle controller maybe. So So let's see, how did I do my throttle last time to make it work the way I wanted to? I'm going to import the throttle controller, or at least see how I did it, just to remember quickly, from Proteus, because Proteus has the throttle set the way I want it. All right, so where's Proteus's throttle controllers? Where are you at? Throttle controller. Throttle 1. So I'm controlling off 1, so I am controlling. I have an up-down clicker, essentially. So where is my... Right here. Nope, that's not it. Where are you at here? Right there. Here's my throttle controller right there. Throttle prop controller. Let's grab it, and I'll cut it down to size. All right, let's see. Copy that. All right, let's load in back where we were. All right, so this converts it so I can use the up-down arrows for throttle, but also be able to still move the manual throttle at the same time. So just a preference thing. And this is a mess because I have 4 engines on that, so I'm not going to need that. So seat, channel 4 there, 1, running prop. Prop is going to run off of prop panels, but instead of prop panels, I'm going to run that off of... I think I want to set this up. I'm going to manually control the prop. So I'll just do this as throttle controller, and I will just dump a ton of the stuff here. So you are going, that's 1 plus minus, so I need seat and need that. You can go, you can go, you can go. So really chopping this panel down. This panel doesn't need to be, this is set up for being a ton of stuff here that it doesn't need. So this will now be a much smaller panel. So move you there, and then you can go down. Okay, good. So that's pretty much set up how I want it. Okay. So this panel goes from the seat. So I'm trying to finish up so I can get in the air here. I should be able to get in the air pretty quick here. So seat, then this goes to reduce prop. And this goes to increase prop. All right, that's that. And then the actual throttle runs the engine. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, let's go back in here and finish getting it up. I want to get this thing started and moving. So. All right, so where's my engine? Engine's still set up with throttle right there. That's all good, 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 good. And then on brakes are coming off of that to run negative on that. That's running really well. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else I have here. I think I'm getting there. Let's throw a crank on this, see if I can't get started. Electricity. I'll run infinite electricity until I get it up and going. I didn't hook up most of the systems. Let me do something really quick. I don't need all those systems hooked up to get it started. I just want to make sure my brakes are hooked up because park brake goes to mains only. Master power is going to go to, was that avionics, coolant pump, starter, master power. Why did I hook this up to this? That was silly of me. Oh, I think I get what you're talking about. How am I going to make that work from the Skyraider? Because all those panels get moved over here eventually. They're just, I'm just connecting them, see where they all have to go, and then I'm going to move it over. Pitch, am I doing prop pitch off this? I'm not. Prop pitch is being done directly on this one from the throttle. So that doesn't need that. Roll. It's good. Oh, that's different pitch. Okay, roll. Let me check my... I have to check my ailerons. I have to check my elevators. And then this will all be fed through a... This will all be fed through a, what do you call it? A gyro at some point. But usually I can get the plane flying pretty well. This one might be a little weird just because of the design. It might not love being... because of center of gravity and everything, but we'll see. See how it likes it. You don't want to really put brakes on your tail wheel. Yaw is going to rudder and tail wheel steering. What are you? Fuel? Fuel is going to the fuel meter, which was where are you at right there? Fuel level. Brakes. What is that, dude? I hooked it up already. Okay. What? No, I didn't. Do I have two brakes here? What are you? Brakes? Brakes? Why do I have two brakes here? I duplicated something. All right, let me see where we're at here. Brakes. Brakes right there. Why am I running dual brakes here is the question. I think that's old. Let me see. Running dual brakes. Don't want that. Park brake, canopy flaps, brakes, and then I have other brakes down here, I think. So let's get rid of this one. This one's probably bunk. All right, good. That gives me an extra space anyway. So, all right, hopefully we're getting close here. Flaps coming in. You have incremental flaps on this one. Clutch, brakes. That's connected. That's connected. You air manifold. Air manifold's hooked. It's hooked. We're pretty much hooked here, I think. All right, I think we're hooked. Let's go ahead and yank all this crap from the back of this. This is all of my panel. So I need to yank all my panel stuff out here. Just going to stick it on the wing for right now. It's going to be a little wonky having some of these instruments not in their correct positions, so the gauges will probably read a little funny, but that'll be all right. So all that's going to end up in the wing, upside down, on top of the fuel cells. That will give us even more fuel that we don't need, and then I have to set a restriction on how much fuel I put in so we don't tip over. Right, what am I missing for gauges here? Probably this here. What are you? You are tilt sensor. Okay, you're coming too. So you come, cut, cut, cut. So these will be weird because the tilt sensors are not in the right position. But I will get that fixed. All right, that goes right there. All right, so now we have all of our gauges, all of our screens. So what are we still running from the back here? What am I running from the back here? That's running to there and there. So these two need to come. And we're on our way here. This compass needs to come too. So you through you, and you, sir, are coming. Cut. And that is pretty much getting us close to being all done with the Mr. Skyraider back there, who can be left in our dust. So control check is coming up next. All right, so these are fine. Those are running dual. What am I running here? What's this? That's master power running to that. That needs to be switched over to here. So you go backlight there, backlight there. So I should be cutting all these reds out there. So backlight, backlight, backlight. All right, so now we have no connections through here, so that's good. All right, let me start testing out control surfaces, and once we get control surfaces ready, we should be in good shape for a takeoff. And then if it flies pretty well, it doesn't have to fly perfectly, it has to fly just pretty well. Why can't I open this door? There we go. I'll be able to put in a gyro to smooth it, but hopefully you should need very little gyro action. So pitch is correct. Roll is starboard needs to be inverted. Rudder is right. Tail wheel is wrong. Okay. Starboard inverted. I expected one of these needed to be inverted. Tail wheel needs to be inverted. So you, let's see if I can grab you and not be a pain to me. Okay, cut you. All right, we'll merge you up. Now merge you here. You're gonna be a pain, aren't you? Gotta get right on top of it to do it. All right, there we go. That's done. Let's do a control check. Fire up the engine. Okay. All right, I want to limit. See how it's clipping? That's going to eventually not rotate at all, but first run we'll let it rotate. Eventually what it's going to do is just go down. That's more than enough to get us going. You actually did have spoiler-ons would do that. All right, let's try to fire up here. So mass power, lights, yay, engine starts up. Probably infinite fuel. No, I don't think I need him. Okay, it's not infinite fuel. Throttle, maybe? That's prop. Let's try throttle here. Let's see what I'm missing here. I'm missing something on that engine. Composite signal. Let me check the flaps while I'm at it. Good, flaps are working here. Okay, those are they? I'm not. These aren't toggles, are they? No. Okay, flaps are working correctly. Let me see what's up with this engine. Brake release. Closed canopy. Closed canopy works. I know, sorry about the noise. Prop. Prop's working. Okay, good. And I'll hook weapons up later. Let me see what's up. Exhaust, maybe? I have to look. All right, let's look in there, see what's up. So we have infinite electricity, so that's not a problem. Let's check my connections here. So that is not connected, that fluid pump, but that's not what's causing the problem here. Fluid pump, what are you? You are fluid pump, you're fluid pump, fluid pump connected, fluid pump, connected, fluid pump connected. Clutch is connected, prop. We have gearboxes don't need to be connected, clutch is connected. We do have our bypass valves connected, our stars connected. RPM is being, the throttle, RPM is being read. Engine is being read. Okay, let me see, check exhaust. Exhaust is deleted on this. So I have deleted exhaust at the moment. I have to make sure that actually came through. Yep, we have deleted exhaust right here because I don't want to have to choke it to death. This is an extra piece that can go anyway. All right, we have the fuel manifolds going through here, which is going to a fuel filter, so this sucker should be full of fuel. So I wonder if these switches are not sealed. Let me check for seals. That's a cell, that's a cell, that's a cell. These should all fill, at least the middle should fill with fuel. So let's check why we're not running. So curious if we're not spawning with fuel in us. This gauge should read, so let's spawn it and see what's up. You're running plenty of fuel in there. Can I see a cylinder head? Let's, I'm going to cut a hole so I can see a cylinder head. Cylinder heads. And try to figure out what is going on. That might be my throttle controller is not connected up properly. So that could be very well be it. So I'll read the tooltips and then I'll see what's up. Strike, AFR exhaust, manifold, okay. So let me check my throttle controller. That could be it right there, so that is seat. So the seat's going to, okay, up, down. Let me go up, down, should be reset 100%. Throttle. That should go over there. That should control it through there. And then the throttle itself should be controlling this to the engine. Let me make sure that's the right throttle going in. Let's see what the starting value is on this. 0.13 is fine. Probably doesn't need to be that much. Start value 0.13. Max value, min value. That's good. AFR sensibility, starter. Let me just quickly look through here and see what is up. So I'm running a throttle setting of at least 0.13, which should be enough to crank it over. What is number 3? 3 is engine start. So engine start should turn on the PID. PID value should be fine. Running through AFR calculation, that should be fine. Okay, air and fuel. Let me make sure I didn't screw my air and fuel up. Exhaust is being deleted again, so let's check it. Just do one quick fly through the engine. Want to see why she's not popping off. Usually something stupid that I forgot. So there's my exhaust being deleted. So that should get rid of all my exhaust. Let me see. There's fuel right there. So we have fuel manifold. We have the 4 cylinders are backed and connected. There's fuel there. Fuel's coming through. Fuel is connected there. Fuel has a inlet. And we have our spawner is spawning diesel and is reading diesel, so that should be fine. Let's see, check air. Air is, I haven't touched this, this came right off of something else, so it shouldn't be screwed up. Air is right here. It's running both at the bypass for start, and it's also running off a supercharger. That's there. Let's check the connections. Air manifold, that's correct. Let's see, RPS, throttle 1, pitch, battery is fine, inconsequential at this point, gear, clutch, fuel. Why are you not running properly? Let's make a couple cuts so I can check everything here. Cut you, cut you. I can see you now. Cut you, cut you, cut you. I can see you now. All right, let's try to crank it. I'm curious what's up. Because it is literally pulled right off and hooked up to the same microcontroller, so. I doubt it's a p-value issue. Battery volts. We have, I can't see this gauge, but this is just running out engine instrumentation to me. So it's not that because it's infinite fuel would crank it if it was a fuel problem or an engine problem. Why is that running low? I wonder if I misconnected the composite. Yeah, it's going engine. It's going engine cylinder composite data going to there. All right, so that should be doing the AFR. Why are you not working? Everything merged that needs to be merged. Merge, 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 merge. Yeah, Let's try to figure. It's probably something stupid that's gonna plague me here. This is not a brand new engine either. This is an engine that's in multiple builds that works too, so. You know what it could be? No, it can't be that. Trying to think if it was, let's go clutch on the prop to 0. I doubt it's this, but we're gonna do it anyway. That's fine. Let's go there, and then let me disconnect the clutch. I doubt it's putting too much force because, again, I use this engine on multiple things, but I'm just trying to kind of knock things off the naughty list. What is up? Very strange. Let me check all my stuff here. So AFR is reading a bad number. I don't know why it's doing that right now. So let's see. See, that's throttling at -0.4, so it's got to be something with that throttling, but I don't know why it's not reading the cylinder and compensating. I'm going to quickly do a bypass of that and just do a 50% run on it. We'll see what it does here. All right, let's just bypass that. Make sure you're running your bypass, right, on start. Yep, you're running your bypass. Let's clutch it back up. That really shouldn't be screwing it up. If I can find it, where are you? Right there, clutch. Let's run. Let's check this here. So we have throttle. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. All right. There's one element I didn't configure from previous builds, and the throttle screwed up. The throttle's a mess. All right, so the throttle needs to be 5 RPS minimum, maximum 20 RPS, start value 5. That should probably do it. Okay, that would be what it was. You know, I didn't copy the throttle over, so let's try it. Hey, look at that. It's the littlest things that just completely screw you up. Fog. Get out of here, fog. Get out of here, wind. All right, let me know, guys, how the volume is on the aircraft itself. I don't want it to be too loud. All right, so let's do a control check again. Pitch, yaw, roll. All right, let's go flaps 1 for takeoff, 15-degree flap for takeoff. 15 degrees flaps are set. All right, let's do a taxi. I ripped all my engine, all my nacelle apart for no reason. Brakes are off. We're gonna slowly go ahead and we'll do a brake check. I have no prop setting in there. Let's go gentle on this. This is a big engine in a small plane, so I'm gonna take it gentle. I'm gonna be very gentle here. All right, so Mr. That Frog Curtis talked about braking. Let's tap on the brakes. So that's not too bad. When we're faster, we can use elevator, but the other thing that is kind of a showstopper on a tail dragger is this. So let's get going pretty fast. I'll show you what you do on a tail dragger. Tail dragger, you need to stop in a hurry. Elevator. And rotate. Hard brakes. That's how you stop in a tail dragger. You rotate around. You can completely change your vector and just completely stop. So that's how I do it. Yeah, so that's how you can stop a tail dragger without ground looping. That's called ground looping. See how I can still slam on the brakes, and it's just angled just about right. If I was going really fast, if you're going really fast though, you have enough airflow over your elevator. You do this in real life too. Like even a Cessna, when you're landing, as you're braking harder and harder, you're pulling your elevator back more and more, and it's putting more weight on your mains. Because that your brakes are actually on your mains. You're not getting any brake on your. Hello, Endo. How are you? You're not getting any brakes on your. Nope, that's no symmetry there. Actually, might like it without that spike on the end. I don't know. What do you guys think? The spike on the the end of the horizontal stab? I kind of like it. It rounds it out nicely. I'm gonna try to pay attention. So when you're taxiing a tail dragger. You can't see right in front of you. You have to kind of, you do a wiggle dance the whole way to kind of see your blind spot. All right, so we're going to stop. So we'll go full elevator, and I'm just going to tap the brakes. And as you can see, we stop, no problem. I'm going to leave the prop pitch in. We'll go canopy. I want to do a little checklist just so I don't screw this up. I'm going to be very careful on takeoff here. So we're going to, first takeoff, I don't want to crash. So trims are... I have a bunch of trims in there because this came off the Sky Raider. So I'm going to fix those. Flaps are set. Prop, we're going to take off with, let's go up to, I don't want to do too much prop. We'll do 20%. This is a big engine on a small airplane, so I'm gonna take it careful here. Again, I have no gyro, so I have to test the flight characteristics. This could crash and burn pretty quick. All right, brakes off. We're going to start rolling. I'm going to be very gentle. We do get torque effects in game. I'm going to keep the tail on the ground. So I have no airspeed indicator because I don't have a linear speed sensor. All right, we're up. All right, so the first thing that always needs some gyro is my roll. I expect that. But that's a pretty good takeoff. Again, you see my roll. My roll needs the most gyro help, so that's to be expected. Gears coming up. Very simple, kind of boring gear I have on this sucker. That's not, apparently that didn't get connected properly, so I have to connect that. All right, I don't have an airspeed indicator, so that's going to be kind of boring. Let's go around, do a landing, and then I will, we'll do a quick, whoa. Again, I need to put a gyro in this, but, so the flight characteristics are good without a gyro. So that's the first thing I do is I test it without a gyro. So that's rolls. Roll's going to be overly sensitive. The gyro will take care of that. Pitch has good pitch authority. Maybe a little bit anemic on pitch, but I can fix that. Pretty good. So let's see if I can land this. This has no gyro whatsoever on it, so the flight characteristics are pretty good for no gyro. I want to get a speed on this. So right now I am at 13 RPS. I'm about, you know, I have quite a bit left, so they're coming for landing here. So we'll see how this landing goes. You know, my roll is a little bit sensitive without a gyro, so and I'm getting slow. I can feel myself stalling. I get that sink rate feeling. You know, just from all my years of flying, you know, I can feel it. I can sense it, kind of seeing it. Your peripheral vision kind of shows it to you. So we're center line. We're coming a little fast, but again, I have no airspeed indicator because I need to hook up a linear speed to that. Pretty good center line, a little bit off, but I have a long nose, so I kind of want to be careful here. All right. So I'm trying to just not hit the prop. There we go. I hit the prop. All right, so let's go ahead and let's throw a gyro in here. That will help. Again, I want sensitivities really pretty low on this. Oh, wrong button. Let's go down. Let's do 10s. I don't need to worry about that. So roll should go to about... Roll, let's go to 10%. Let's go barely any on these. These were good. I'm going to go 5s on these. So, you know, again, if you get your aircraft to fly pretty well without the gyros, you're in good shape. So yaw, so the only thing I really actually want the yaw gyro for is the tail wheel. So I will keep my yaw hooked up there. That just keeps me from wiggling too much on the ground. Up down doesn't need anything. A lot of people hate the stock gyro. It's just, you know, you know, if you get the airplane to work fine without it, then all it's doing is the tiniest bit of smoothing at the end of the day. Where's roll? Roll. Where's roll? Rolls right there. Pitch we could probably even do without, but I'm going to put it on there anyway. I can always juice it up. I actually want to boost the sensitivity of those. Where are you? I'm trying to struggle to find pitch. Pitch right here. I should have just gone from the tailplane. I'm going to actually increase the pitch sensitivity. So by running that yaw through the gyro, that's also going to give me, that might give me flutter. Let's go to 25. All right, so I do have to be careful of ground looping it there. Could go probably, get in there. Come on, get up there, ding dong. All right, let's try it. I'll do a quicker takeoff procedure here. So go flaps 1. My flaps gauge isn't reading correctly, but I'll fix that. There we go there. Canopy's coming closed. Let's go prop to 10% for taxi. That way it just makes it so we don't have too much going. My yaw on my tail wheel is terrible. Let's get rid of that. Let's go to 25 on you. I just want it to help me taxi so that it's not wiggle waggling too much. It really wasn't doing it too much on takeoff. I might not need it at all, but you know, I could make a PID gyro too at some point just for the roll. The roll is the only thing that really needs a gyro. Flaps, 10% prop. It's taxi. I really dislike the clicking noise on the throttles now. That's pretty brutal. Oh, you know what it is? The way I have my brakes set up, even with throttle in, I'm getting braking, so I have to change that. It has to come off the throttle itself, I think. We're going to do an intersection takeoff. Final path is clear. I didn't put it... Sorry. Back and forth, I know. I need to put an airspeed indicator in here. I'm not reading airspeed. Airspeed's here, so let's look for video here, and then I need airspeed. See these are still hooked in back here, so my airspeed indicator's in the wrong plane. That, and then airspeed. Okay, so this needs to go. All right, so you're coming. You are coming to over here. Where do I want you? Could put you right in front. We'll see if that annoys me to death, but we'll see. So that was why I didn't have any airspeed readout, which was important. I need to kind of get to that stage, get my airspeed figured out here. So, and then you can come here. Excuse me. You can come here. We'll close this engine bay up. Yeah, that was just again me screwing up the throttle. Needed to be configured, and I didn't configure that. Oh yeah, I could put it on the bottom. Yeah, we'll see if it bugs me. If it doesn't bug me, or if it does bug me, I'll move it down there. Yeah, putting it at the bottom is a good idea. I was also thinking I even put it on the horizontal stab, but there we go. Try to get see in there. There we go. Okay. Just fixing all my holes that I didn't even need to view my engine. Okay. All right, good. Let's spawn it. All right, hopefully that's the end of Sky Raider, and we can get the Sky Raider out of here. I think that's it. These are all going top of the wing. The top of the wing is all free space for microcontrollers, so, and that will not eat into our fuel at all. And we have more than enough fuel, so. All right, we'll taxi out. I don't know if I gave it a notch of flaps or not. I did, okay. I don't want too much flap because I don't want my tail coming up too fast. Yeah, I'll probably stick that on the bottom. Yeah, see, my brakes are not doing what I want. I have to fix the brakes at some point. Because it's going through the throttle controller, I need the brakes. I need the throttle controller to go to the brakes. I have it going direct, I believe, so. Yeah, I could just half the sensitivity of the input, but I just throw it on there because it's easy. But I'll eventually get to it, and you know, I have a custom controller on my fencer. Let me fix my prop here. My prop needs to go to 20. About 20% prop on this is going to be fine. Am I even on the runway? Yeah, I'm on the runway. It's hard to tell. All right, we're up. Doing a pretty good speed already. That's 166 knots. Let's start increasing my prop. There we go. 200 something knots. Let's try to get a prop setting in here that I want to run with. Okay, so we're running pretty good on this. I could probably go fatter on a, so about 200 knots. That's pretty reasonable. We're nice and stable. My gear is still not fixed. Let's kind of crank it back this really kind of stiff rudder, roll a little bit. So I need to work on my roll just a hair. Trying to visually see. Let's go do some low-level strafing runs. I don't have any guns on here yet. So I'm happy with that speed. Temperature, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on. I can't. Okay, temp's good. Yeah, temp's reasonable. This engine I've already played with quite a bit on other builds to run cooling on. Roll's a little anemic now. I need to work on the roll some more. Do a little inverted flights so I can kind of test how it's flying. Because I have to pay attention quite a bit in inversion. All right, let's do a rollout. So I use my rudder to help me. That's snap rolling. So your rudder will help you do a snap roll. You actually, like, if you want to, the quickest roll you can do is rudder yaw in real life. Like, you can literally do a roll, a snap roll, without any aileron at all. That's, I've done those with students when I was a flight instructor. Do a quick snap roll. You actually don't need any aileron. Looking over the top here as I come down. Let's do a quick strafe and run. So definitely a little stiff on the roll. I need to fix that. Pitch sensitivity could come up a little bit as well. We have a pretty good horizontal stab, so you know, a little sensitivity. I should be able to get a little bit more out of that. Yeah, a little bit more pitch I'd like. A little bit more roll, but it's not. You know, it's turning nicely. See if I can't fly through the hangar. Oh, I was going to say I'd fly through the hangar, but the Sky Raider's in there. Let's see if I can get through the hangar. If I can get through the hangar, I'm running pretty well on controls. Let me see where my... I keep not leaving that on override time, and I'm running it. So I'm pretty happy with the speed. About 200 knots is pretty good. Could be a little faster, of course, but it's not bad. See if I can't get through this hangar on the first go without hitting anything. Sky Raider is sitting in the hangar. No, it isn't. Okay. Let's try to do a quick split S. Definitely need more pitch authority. I'm low on pitch authority. I do a double hangar dip if I can, but I'm too close to it to do a dip, so let's roll out. Do a snap roll out. Turn it into a split S. If I can't get through the hangar again on kind of a quicker turn. So I'm increasing my thrust as well here. Try to get through this hangar again. Just trying to test its maneuverability. Again, this is going to be a fighter ground attack aircraft, so it needs to be able to maneuver. I should be able to... yep, that was close. I knew that was going sideways. But it's flying pretty well. Let's see if I can't get the... So as soon as I got far enough away, the Sky Raider disappeared. Let's bump this up. Yeah, let me do this really quick. Let's try what Curtis was saying. I'll get rid of the... where's my pitch? Pitch is there. I'll just come out of here. I'm going to try to do a seat sensitivity, see what I can do here. I need to fix my brakes. My brakes are wonky weird. Where's that? So that's coming through here. I want brakes to be... I need a separate brake controller. Let's see, how do I have it right now? So that's negative is positive. I need more progressive brakes, but the brakes aren't bad. They're just a little bit stiff. Let's try that. Let's go ahead. We're doing direct connect, and let's drop that down. Let's see where we're at there. WS, let's pop that up to 20, and let's see how we run here. I'm just trying to get the flight characteristics kind of where I'm at here. The other thing too is these ailerons. You know what it is? Let's do this. Let me fix the ailerons. The ailerons, I was talking about it before. If people were here when I talked about it, I'm running these as kind of aileron spoilerons. So the aileron spoilerons need to work a little different here. So let me do this. So what's going to happen is, so the ailerons are going to come in. I don't mean to add another one. There we go. Come on, delete, delete, delete. Composite input seat. This will actually fix part of the problem I was having. Output. Because I don't want these clipping through the wing. They're going to be aileron spoileron style. So we're going to have port star. Okay. And so what these will do now is, I have to flip them again, but we'll do read number WS. And this will run clamp 0 to 1, -1, 0. All right, so then I have to configure these, so I have to look at them, see how they're running. So that's how I want those running now. So let's run this up here. So they're only one of them is gonna operate at a time, and only in the down configuration. So let's go there, you there, and then I need to make sure they're oriented correctly. So I need to check that out. This will fix some of my overroll characteristics here. I don't know what heater's on. Something heater's on, being heated. Probably the fire that I left there. Probably still left the heat there, so let's check it. So, yep, I hooked it to the wrong controller. It's not WS, it's supposed to be AD. There we go. Making errors. All right, let's check it. Could have moved the plane closer, but I just have to taxi it out further. Okay, let's check it. So that is correct. Did you just tell me that I got that on the first try without having to do it backwards? Awesome. Those are probably a little bit anemic at the moment. Let's fix it. I'm just doing it from my own feel. So let's go to 15 on that. Let's do, where's pitch? WS. Let's do 25 on you. All right, so let's try this and see if this, that should fix it quite a bit too. So we have no gyro in there. Yeah, it's just a quick and dirty way to fix it, but we'll see if I can do it without it. Gear, canopy, 10% prop taxi. Let's get out there. Really dislike the click of the throttles. I know people have been working on some fixes for that. You know, I was talking in one of my career build series videos that's not out yet. Devs could save themselves some headache if they would say, hey, we came out with an update today. We're going to call it, it's the beta version of the audio update. We'd like you guys to all run it. Tell us what you like, tell us what you dislike, and we'll work on it for the next patch, you know. And then people would be like, we hate the clicking throttles. And you'd be like, okay, great, thanks for the feedback. And it would be a positive way to do it where they're not like, where everyone's not like, you suck. Because they, you know, just all you have to do is call this the beta version of it. And then ask for our feedback and then make the changes. Oh, pitch is a little bit hairy at the moment. Pitch is overly sensitive. I did too much pitch sensitivity. Yeah, that's bad. Pitch sensitivity is brutal. Roll is nice. Okay, so I fixed the roll. Roll needs a little bit more sensitivity, but by, you know, doing this type of aileron, one-way ailerons, that cut that down considerably. Pitch is overly sensitive now. I have to screw with that next. What is going on with my pitch here? I'm all over the place here. I'm trying to get, I have no reference. I'm trying to see where I'm looking here. I'll plug it back into the gyro just to stabilize some of that, but pitch is overly sensitive now, and it's kind of unsettling my airframe. So let's test prop settings. Okay, so we're in a dive, which isn't a good setting, but let's go full prop, see where we're looking. Nice, so we're doing 100, and let's level off. It's not really a fair test to do a dive. So we're doing 190 knots with full prop. That should be running us super cold. You see how bad my sensitivity is. I did too much pitch sensitivity. I need to decrease that again. Roll's coming in nicely. Roll is nice. Little bit more roll and quite a bit less pitch. All right. So this is kind of the boring element of getting your stuff set up where it's just not enough pitch, too much pitch, not enough roll, too much roll. And I'm just going to do a straight takeoff. I should be able to hopefully just get us right out of here. I'm going to go add a little bit extra. See, I'm worried about where the flaps are. That you do get this in real life where the flaps, if they're too far back, you end up getting issues with, you know, they try to pick the ass up. That changes your approach angle. You get that in real life. As you increase flap, you have to put your nose down more, and with a tail dragger, you have to be careful. So let's actually do a flap 0 takeoff. I'm having to pitch my nose down too much to counteract my flap. So coming up with a procedure here. We'll want that on landing, but takeoff, let's do a flap 0 takeoff. All right, I'm stabilized, adding in more throttle. Yep. See how my nose didn't tip down? That was the flaps. Okay, my pitch is still a little sensitive. Just a hair. Having rolling issues here. I'm gonna pipe it through the gyro again, see if that will. I just want a little bit of smoothing out of that. Let's pipe it through. That will let me increase the sensitivities just a hair and still have it run through that. Right, let's go up 80. Let's go up to 25. Pitch I want at 30. And then I'm going to smooth them out in here, so that's fine, fine. Yaw I don't need. So pitch, I'm going to need a little bit of smoothing on pitch. So pitch is going there, in there. Let's fix that. And then I need to go through my roll control here. So what I will do is I will, instead of doing seat composite here, this just changes to number input, gyro roll. And then that will go there. And then let's hook that up. And then where's gyro roll? Right there. And then that should be set. So let's test this out. Hopefully we don't get any jittering or oscillation. So this should be pretty good. This is getting there really fast. It's all the, kind of the, it's the thankless stuff. So, a lot of people, they struggle when they're building their craft. Part of it's just because, most people don't have any inside industry knowledge about the particular, thing they're building. And so a lot of it tends to be problematic. Like, you saw how I was having issues taking off where my pitch was going too far forward and I was worried about hitting the prop. That was all due to flaps. So when your flaps are going down, you're changing your center of lift and you're increasing your lift. Well, it was just moving my center of lift back towards the flap, and that was it was causing my deck angle to have to be lower to counteract that lift. And so all that told me was, from experience, flap zero takeoff. So that's that was 15 degrees of flaps too. Like, we took off with 9 degrees of flaps. I have to set my prop. Okay, whoa. All right, so we're up. So we're doing 208. Let's check it. Good pitch there. Getting really good pitch response now. A little bit of rudder. Okay, good stability now. This is running well. I can still do some, see how I can pitch my nose so I can get on target. I have a good yaw control so I can use my guns. I was gonna do a knife edge between the tower. I'm gonna try not to do stupid crap and crash because it just ruins my test. Turn back on target really quick. Let's do some strafing. So strafe on target. We'll break out. We'll come up. We will go straight out. We'll do a split S to get back on target. A little bit light on pitch. It feels just a hair, but it's not bad. Like, in game, a lot of craft are just overly pitch sensitive. Strafe. Let's go. We'll strafe for the X. We'll come back and we'll do a reapproach for the second X. Kind of do a real approach like I was going to actually do it. So we'll go away. We'll come up. We'll do a split S. At the top of the loop, I'm going to pull my thrust back. I want to slow down a little bit. And that's going to buy me more time to get on target. I'm going to drop my nose. I'm going to roll, and I'm going to yaw in the correct direction. We're back on target. A little bit slow on that. X. Power out. So we're going to power hard away from the target. I just need to buy myself some more time, give myself some space. A lot of people make their craft unrealistically, they turn unrealistically, let's put it that way. It breaks my brain. I've been flying for too long to do things unrealistic, so it's like, I'm like, that would kill you. And so, like, I was doing dogfight with Endo and crew, and I was like, nope, that would be a stall. And so I would stop turning because I was like, nope, I'd stall. And so everyone else is like turning, and I'm like, why am I getting my ass kicked? I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm flying like I would really fly, not like how you can fly in the game. So it was trying to make myself, ooh, look, we have a target. So let's go after this guy here. So starting my gun run, guns. Look at how long I can stay on target. Real nice, good. Power out hard. Let's power away. Let's do a split S. Coming over the top, start chopping some thrust to buy myself some time. So you see I'm dropped about 30 knots. That's also going to let me stay on target longer. So I have reinitialized the targets. So yeah, my roll's a little bit light still, so I need to fix my roll. Definitely, I can't roll fast enough, so I need to fix that. All right, let's see if I can do a nice stabilized landing here. Where the hell's my island? There it is. So we're on kind of a downwind here. Let's do a kind of a regular approach here. Flaps are coming down. 2 notches, flaps. Let's start slowing my speed down. Let's do takeoff prop is good. That's fine. 28 degrees was pretty good. 28%. Slow it down here. I want to see where I can get on speed. Final notch of flaps at 45. That looks like flaps 45 right there. 45 degrees of flaps. Okay, I'm coming across here. We're doing a kind of extended base. A lot of people's landing problems are they cut in too tight. You know, you really need a lot of seat of the pants flying capability to really get a tight approach in. Nice long approach gives you good visibility. You can make all your changes. Let's come down to approach speed. I want to see where I can get to. Hoping for, let's say 90 knots. This doesn't have a ton of wing. 90 knots feels a little bit stally. Let's try 100. 100 feels good. Again, this is just all experience stuff. Like I can tell by my sync rate if I'm stalling or not. So let's try 100 knots. I think 100 knots is a good approach speed for this. That's about pretty realistic. Like when I landed in like a Piper Seminole, you're talking 90 knots. So let's go ahead and let's... pitch is still being a little bit funky. I'm flaring. I'm on my mains. No brakes. See, I have to fix my brakes. Definitely have to fix my brakes. So let's start steering. Yep, I need to fix my brakes. So what's happening is my brakes are connected. Anytime I press down on the throttle, I'm getting brakes. I don't want that. I need progressive brakes. I also could decrease the prop on there. Let's see what I can do. My pitch is a little bit, yeah, pitch sensitivity still caused me some problems on that. Let's see, roll. I need to up my roll. Where are you at? Roll, let's go to 20. Let's go to 30 on roll. Pitch, reasonably happy with that. What are you at here? That's pretty good. All right, let's see what I can do. I need to get my brakes under control. I could do ABS on this. That would help. Part of the problem is I had too much prop in. I need to get my prop zeroed out. Let me see if I can't. Coming in 100 knots, I need to be able to stop this. Could move the gear forward 1. That would help with stopping. Again, we have a really long nose. But I have to kind of think about that. Just kind of some flight characteristics and dynamic issues I have to work on. A couple more flight changes there. We'll test it. It's still working pretty well. It's just so flaps up for takeoff. Do 20. I'm gonna land. Let's try to take off with 10% prop and land with 10% prop. That will help me with my braking problem. So slam on the brakes. Okay, so if I can take off with that, that might help. You know, I need to do full elevator as I brake. You see, I'm right on balance point, so could go 1 up on the balance point, but we'll see. I need to also do, like, see ABS brakes is helping a little bit, so I have to get the prop pitch out of there too. The problem is I don't have, let me do this really quick. So the seat should be controlling my prop, which I never hooked up. So what's that? 1. 1 is increase prop. So I should be able to zero out my prop. That will help me stop as well. All right, let's go ahead and do another quick flight test here. All right, we're good. So test the flight dynamics on this a little bit. So yeah, see, I don't want it to fully break every time I do that. So what I'll probably do is I will make it so that above, like, say 90% of my down arrow, it will give me brakes. It's giving me brakes too early. And I'll probably add in a blinker to ABS the brakes. All right, we're up. Need to fix the gear still. All right, let's go full prop. Let's do a flight test here. Go full throttle. I want to check my roll. Roll's better. Getting a little bit more on roll. Trying to look as I'm turning here. I need a little bit more rudder in as I'm coming in. Do a couple quick, I'll do kind of a couple quick extreme maneuvers, see how it's working for me. Not ready for knife edges past the tower yet. There we go, did a little knife edge off the tower there. Pitch is a little anemic, but again, it's realistic. You know, this is what a loop would look like in real life. You're not snapping a loop like you do in game. You know, and I don't want this to be unrealistic. I want this to be pretty realistic. You know, you have to worry about when you do a loop at that altitude, that's about where you're going to end up. You're not doing a loop inside of your loop. That's not happening. You know, it's you're pretty much going to loop about where you started. The loop is where you're ending up. So you loop like 20 feet off the deck, you're going to likely do an accelerated stall and smash into the deck. That's what's likely going to happen. That's why, you know, they extend the loop up and they actually kind of make it a little bit more of an oval, like a teardrop coming into it, because you need that extra altitude to recover. Let's do a hanger. Let's try to do a double loop on the hanger. If I can do a double loop on the hanger, ooh, I still have Sky Raider still in there. We got to get away. I was going to go through, but Sky Raider's sitting in there, so. Doing pretty good on speed. Let's dump the prop a little bit. Let's go to like 80% prop, see if I can't get a little more speed. Okay, we got a little more speed. A little bit sensitive on the pitch, but it's not bad. You know, I kind of expected a little bit of issues on this. Yeah, I'll do that at some point there, Jason. You know, it's mostly feeding one pit into the next to kind of it adds some delay on it and smooths it out. All right, let's try to. So hopefully I'm far enough away that Sky Raider disappeared because it's part of my same object. And I'm gonna try to get through the hangar here. So let's do. I'm gonna go opposite rudder. As you can see, that will increase my roll rate. So I'm just tapping opposite rudder as I'm doing that. That increases my roll rate. So I'm using other tricks other than just my ailerons. I'm doing that. That's still in there. Crap. I want to go through that friggin' hangar, but it's super tight if it's sitting in there. Do I try it? Do I try it? Nope. Come on, come on, come on. I'll try some other maneuvers here. Trying to look. I really wish we had head tracking. Like, I should be looking like out of the top where I'm looking, but I can't readjust it without taking my hands off the control, so I have to like go like that to do it. So I lose a bunch of my controllability. All right, I'm gonna try a knife edge next to the tower. This is gonna likely end up in a crash. We'll see. I don't have enough roll rate. I have to be really careful. I need to roll it out perfectly knife edge, and I need to pitch adjust. So let's try it. I'm going to knife edge really early, see if I can't keep it stable. The likelihood that I complete this without crashing is going to be very, very slim here. So knife edging it early, early. I love to do it the last second, but I'm going to have to try to get it right on the money here to get it to knife edge through that gap. All right, come on, 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 come on. I don't know if I even have the clearance. Ah, got it. All right. That was hairy. I had to start it wicked early just to be confident to hit it. All right. There's no way I make it through that hangar with the Sky Raider sitting in there. Let me get it. Let me get some distance here. That will cause that to despawn. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna if I had the clearance to make that knife edge, but I do. Like looking at it right here, you can see that I have the clearance between the two towers to do it. Once you get, I think it's what is it, 2 kilometers? I think it's 2 kilometers. It disappears. So we're 2.5 out. So let's see if I can't get back there and get through that hangar. So I want to do a double loop. This is all just testing. See how this flies. I want to make sure this flies like I want it to. You know, a lot of the stuff you fly in the workshop is just super twitchy, unrealistic. Like you'd be pulling 20 Gs. I don't want any of that. I want this to be realistic. And so, again, that's all personal preference. You know, it's perfectly cool. You want something gamey, and that's cool too. But it's just like it's not my personal preference. I like to have it realistic. Styrier's still in there, man. It didn't disappear. I'm gonna go through anyway. The wings stick up. That's the only problem. I have to dip and dip out. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, do it with Skyraider. Let's delete the Skyraider. All right, so this is really flying pretty well. It's not flying perfectly, but I could do a little. I could do some trickies to get that to work. You know, the game dynamics are not perfect, so you have to kind of play with it and tweak it to get it to do it right. That everything? That's everything. Okay, let's do. So this is an open body. Let's try something here. I don't like doing this, but let's do it anyway. What do we? So I have to look at my directions. So that's arrow hollow up. So I need hollow down on this one. So I'm going to cheat this a little bit to get a little bit more. You wouldn't do this in real life, of course, but yeah, I'm going to do it in game just to kind of get a little bit more pitch authority. Where are we at there? I'm going to do this to get just a little bit more pitch authority and see if that gives me a better feeling pitch. It's not bad, but it's a little bit underwhelming to where I want it. So let's go try this. I didn't test my brakes either. I haven't really fixed my brakes. I'm going to try doing a landing where I pull the prop. It's just the propeller, the engine's so strong, it's still giving me a ton of thrust even though I'm not throttled up. And so that's causing me to struggle to stop myself. So still trying to get over my cold. I keep having to mute myself to clear my throat. All right, let's get going here. Oh, it's flying pretty well. You see, I can do pretty good maneuvers. I want to get through that hangar. I would like to do a double loop through the hangar. That would kind of tell me my pitch is where I'd like it. Roll's a little bit weird, but that, again, is probably because of center of gravity, center of lift issue, but that's kind of how the plane is designed. But as you can see, it's definitely, it's going to work. So, you know, every plane had its pluses and minuses and its flight characteristics, and so I don't want them all to be cookie cutters of all my planes. I want them to have their own flight characteristics. So we have a little bit more pitch now. Roll's still a little bit anemic to where I'd like it, but I'll work on that. It's not bad. It feels like a real aircraft. Like this is, like say a Piper Warrior. This is how a Piper Warrior would roll. You know, you have a fighter, you'd want a little bit more, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Let me quickly get rid of this waypoint. That way I'm not looking at it as I'm coming in. All right, let's... So I'm definitely feel a little bit more confident flying this now. Let's go ahead and try to do a double loop through the hangar. It's going to be a little bit hairy. I have to get it just right. I'll start with a split S return through the hangar. That will be like, you know, you're getting on target. You come back around, you try to get right back on target. What's my speed? I'm slow. I need to increase my prop. So we'll do that as I come through the hangar here. I can do it with my 1 key now. There's prop coming up. Let's do a split S. So I'm at 220 knots. So what's my prop setting? 49. So 49 looks like best speed. All right, split S through. I cut my speed. I don't want my return too fast. I need the space to get it going. Let's split the S. All right, we're splitting. We're stabilized. I need to not, so you see I drop my speed a bunch. That's so that my return's not too fast. Dip the tail. Oh, dip the tail. Ah, I couldn't dip the tail enough. That was too close of a return. But it's working well. So let's start working on some munitions and whatnots. Guns are going to be interesting, and it's mostly a matter of putting in ammo. So I think we should be able to get it in here. I don't want a ton in this. This is going to be a very light attack, light fighter. So let's go ahead and let's do ammo. So small ammo drums are going to be the item here. So that side it can't go in at all. Let's go single side. I don't need this, so that can go. Medium drum I can't accommodate at all, I don't think. No, medium drum's too big. We'll do smalls, or a small. So that, I have plenty of space for small in here. Let's see, where does that arrive? Right there. Okay. So, see how I want to do this. I don't know about this weirdness up here. Do not know about that. I might just finish it like this. Come on, let's go symmetry. All right, yeah, let's delete this. I don't like that little weirdness there. That's a little bit weird. And then it's going to cause me problems trying to put some guns in here, so. All right, that's better. I just have to work on this, getting this integrated here, but that's actually not a big deal. That's all of this, I think. Yep, that's all of that, so that fixes that. That looks better. And then I want to do, I'm trying to think how I want to do these guns. I can't do them this high, can I? Nope. Actually, yeah, right there. Okay, perfect. I could, so see this is part, okay, that's only fuel. I can make this work too, I think. Yeah, I should be able to make this work on this side. I just need to move my fuel. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go, I'll just keep this deleted out there, and then I need to add in fuel and then kind of route it through the floor. Battery can go forward. That will get my center. Battery should go in the tail. I want to get my center of gravity back anyway, so let's stick it in the tail. It's not a ton of weight, but put it in the tail. And then guns are coming in. So I need to do fuel is first. Fuel's, you know, a necessary element of this craft, so. And then I'll put it right there. So this can go symmetry off, you. All right, so this is going to be right there, and then actually I can undo that and put a fluid right in. Ah, come on. Fluid. See you later, Dano. I'll probably finish up pretty soon here. I just wanted to get this to the point where it's pretty good, but I just want to do one strafing run and then probably end it up. But thank you for everybody for watching. It's been fun building this. You know, like I said, I originally this was going to be a video for a new part of the series, and then I was like, I ended up screwing it up, and so I was like, you know what, let's do a live. All right, so let's go right there on the fuel. So let's move this. So one of the things I love about modulars is you can just put things wherever you want them. You know, I left the old engines, left them behind long ago. I never use them as, there's just no application where I think they're beneficial, you know, in my opinion. Because they're just, these are so customizable that whatever I want to do to this, to these, I can just do it. And so that's why I always use modulars. All right, let's cut all the way down the belly. So I actually don't need to cut that in the belly. Where's my, okay, guns are going there. Okay, yeah, I don't need to cut that in the belly, so let's not do it in the belly. Let's just do it, we'll do it kind of on the surface here. You know, like the nice thing is by moving that and merging it, I don't have to reconnect it at all. It's all set to go. All and then you can go. Something screwed up here. Okay, that was the fluid port was blocking that, so that just did that. That's fine. All right, so that's pretty good there. That's doing what I need to do. All right, and then I'm going to put the guns in. So guns will go here. And then I need to put in 2 ammo canisters. So, like for ratio, do you mean the air fuel ratio? The AFR? Evil Tadpola. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll show you the formula. Formula should be, if you look at my my Stormworks Basics car tutorial, it has the formula in there. You can just grab it out of there. That is a simple AFR formula. And let me just add the gun on real quick, and then before I forget. Cannon, we want I want light auto cannon. Where's light? Just give me one quick sec, and then I'll go ahead and I'll look at that up for you. Come on, man. Where's symmetry? Okay, I need that. That needs to move, so that needs to go. Where is there space for this? Right here. Okay. Sounds like something just exploded in game. That goes there, and then I can delete this one out here. Okay. And then I didn't have symmetry on, so that's why it didn't do it. But I did need to delete that out before I could do it. What did I grab? I meant to grab the ammo can, and I grabbed a block. There we go. I'll show you the formula in a second here. All right, that goes there, and then I need my junctions, which it's not a junction, it's a belt section, but the junction you actually have to, make work, so don't want to confuse people by using the wrong term. Flying through the build is nauseating, I know. All right, so there we have a couple cannons on here. Could possibly move them up. I have to worry about shooting through the prop, so that's going to be something to consider. So those are probably going to get moved, maybe. I have to decide. It'll be shooting through the prop. So let's look at the engine really quick. So we look at the formula here. So if you go to the Stormworks Basics car tutorial, which I'll grab a link here in a second, I go through this AFR section. So essentially what you're doing is you have your throttle going to a PID, and I have this throttle set to RPM. So the throttle goes from 5 RPM, which is my idle, up to 20 on this particular craft. I have it set to a PID. You can use, you just keep moving the P value around until you get good performance, but I'm using 0.15. I'm not bothering with the I and the D. And then I go from there up to here. Let me see, where am I going? Right there. Let me see where I'm at here. So you need to go, where am I at here? Okay, so you're going here from this up to here. And it is this formula. Again, I would just copy all of this from pretty much all of this from the Stormworks Basics car AFR tutorial. You'll see it in there in my videos. It's an AFR tutorial. It does the air fuel ratio. And so what this here is if you look, this composite signal here, reading 1, 2, 3, that's coming from your engine composite. That reads your air, fuel, and temperature, essentially. Your air comes into this formula as Y. Your fuel comes in as Z. And then it backfeeds from here to X. And then you have another one over here where you read your temperature, clamps it, it sends it through this formula. So again, it's, and then right here you can set the AFR you want. So we want an AFR of 0.2. That then reads through all these formulas and all this stuff. This I got from somebody else. I forget who it was. That is the proper formulas for it. So I just copy it. So if I were you, go in that tutorial, the AFR tutorial, and you can copy this section here. And then what you do is you plug your PID from your throttle into here. So it reads out of here, and then it reads into here. And then this one here is your air. This one here is your fuel. And then you plug these into your air and fuel. And so what this allows you to do is supercharge, and it automatically adjusts your fuel to maintain a AFR of 2. So that's how all this works. So if you go into that tutorial, I'll grab a link really quick and show you that. And so that's what I usually do is, you just copy that over. Here is the link for the AFR tutorial, and you can just use that for copy it over. Yep. My paste is not working for some reason. I have to probably reboot my PC at some point, but it is called the Stormworks Basics Car Tutorial AFR. And you can go through that, grab that microcontroller. That's on the workshop too, so you can follow the link, grab that, and just use that. But that is that. So guns are gonna shoot through the prop. I don't want to set up an interrupter, so let me see if I have space in the back somewhere to get these. I could do gun pods. That's probably what I'll end up doing. I'm gonna do gun pods. I've been doing that lately, just gun podding it up. That makes it just, with a propeller here, that makes much more sense to me to do gun pods. So I'm not going to do guns there. I just want to do one strafe and run, and I'll probably call it a video. So hopefully I didn't delete anything I need. So let's add a gun pod. So I have to be careful about where I add my hard points. So I just want to test a quick gun run. So let's go ahead and test a quick gun run. So I'm just going to do a really simple basic here, and then I will integrate these a little bit better later. Come on, give me some symmetry there, guy. There we go. And then I might hook up the, I'll probably hook up my gear. My gear is not working right, so I have to check on the gear. That's one thing I want to check. All right, that's that. Let's go seat trigger. Where's my trigger on my seat here? It's right here on my, there. Trigger. Need to put ammo in the cans. Light auto cannon, high X, light auto cannon, high X. All right, and then what else do I want to add? Gear is what I want to do. So what's up with my gear? My gear is going here to gear, and it's presently not working. So see, I don't need any down locks. I have had, hey, what's up there, Secret? I have not had any issues with my gear collapsing. They're sideways gear, so I'd have to side load it, land sideways really hard probably to get them to collapse. So this plane's light enough. I probably don't need gear locks, which is nice. All right, what is up with my gear and why am my gear not working? Gear is, okay, if the button 11 is on, I think it's 12. I think that's why. Gear is 12. That would be why. Okay, gear is 12. All right, so gear is 12. So that would be, if I turn on 12, it should count up until it gets to 1. And then if it's not on, it'll put my gear down. So that should fix my gear. Actually connecting it. Yep, okay. So let's go ahead for a quick strafe flight. Then we'll call it a video after that. So if you arrived late, this video will be posted right after. It'll come up. You can rewatch it where you'd like. So I feel bad if somebody just came in, and I'm getting off. But let's go to. So I'm figuring about. Let's go 20. About 30 was running really good. Best speed on this. It's way too fast for taxi. But again, the nice thing with a tail dragger is, as you can see, you can quickly switch directions. If I could speak the English language, I just hit the prop. All right, so I'm going to do my normal procedure. Taxi out at 10%. Tends to be my procedure. Taxi out at very low prop setting. That controls your speed. It makes it so that you don't get going too fast. And I didn't follow my own procedure, and I paid for it. So the nice thing with this is, with a really low prop pitch setting, you can actually go pretty high on your throttle, and you don't go too fast. Yeah, so I need to fix so what's happening is, as soon as I hit the down arrow, it's giving me brake, as you can see, and it's too much. So a couple things I could do is I could move the gear forward a little bit. Which means I have to move the wings forward a hair, which I'd rather not. I could put a little weight in the tail, or most likely what I'll do is I'll add some anti-lock braking system to the brakes. So it does this tap, 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 tap. See how it stops me? No problem. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's set the prop about 30%. Get on the runway here. So you see we're completely blind to our center line. That's one of the issues of a tail dragger, is you lose your ability to see where you're at. Perfect. So that's even better takeoff. Let's go gear up. So see the gear slowly going up. So it's kind of like the old, World War II pneumatic or pump gear. They slowly go up. They probably do double that speed, but you see they go up nice and slow. All right, good. So let's go ahead and let's test our guns. All right, so those are not hitting the prop. That's a benefit. So I'm using my artificial horizon because I have no real good reference point out there. Coming back down to the deck. Let's go find something to kill. Okay, this is flying really well now. So let's go ahead and I want to grab vehicle damage on, MPZ damage. Okay, so that's good. I just want to make sure. I should have known vehicle damage was on. I've crashed a couple times, but I'm looking for a boat or something to shoot at here. So let's go up to about, I think, what did I say? 30 was probably about my best speed. I need to go full throttle. I'm not at full throttle yet. So I'm getting good speeds off this. That's 216. That's certainly reasonable for a small prop plane. This is a big engine, but it's a pretty small prop on there, so. And then, we'll get in the painting phase. Don't know how I want to paint this. Probably do some sort of navy scheme. I really like that yak. The problem is it's not a yak. It's not, this is flying really well now. I wonder if the gear was causing me a ton of drag or something, because this is flying well now. This is like, it's flying better than it's been flying. Come on, where's that boat? I had boats and I had all sorts of targets. Actually, there might be enemy here. Yeah, there is some enemy. Let's go fight some enemy really quick. Let's see. Reveal the map. All right, where are we at here? So we have some enemy. I don't have a ton of stuff here, so they're over here. So let's set a waypoint. Let's head over there. This will also let me kind of see if I have any overheating. Let's read some chat. I'm digging it like this. Could have more taper. I could thicken the top and the front of the tail a little bit. I might do that and have it come a little bit closer, but could have used a little bit fatter of a tail. You see. Yeah, you'll do that in. If you have wind, you're going to come in at a crab angle anyway, so you'd come in to land and you would kick the tail like this. Come in and you would kick the tail and you'd come in with a side slip, and then you put that downwind wheel down and then land. Let's see what else you do. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can imagine the Corsair had issues. Yeah, like we would come into Boston and we'd have a big crosswind, and you'd be coming in sideways like this, and all the passengers, all they could see right when you flared to land was the water, and it used to scare the hell out of them because the last second we'd kick the rudder and flare in. So we're coming in pretty nice here, going 215 knots. Checking my temp here. Temp is coming up, but that's expected. Again, I don't want a plane that I can run it, at full throttle all day long. I want to have it that I have to, manage some systems. Yeah, the Buff had some weird systems. The crab angle lands. They had all the outriggers on the wings too. We used to go up to Marquette, Michigan, was our maintenance base, and it had runways set up for the B-52, and so the taxiways were like 200 feet wide, so it was ridiculous. And you get some bad perceptions as you're coming. Not bad perceptions, but you get some wrong perceptions as you're coming in. When the runway is really wide, you think you're lower than you are. When the runway is very narrow, you think you're higher than you are, because you get used to standard runway width. So you go into Marquette, and the runways and the taxiways were so wide for the buff that they would, you know, you would think you were closer than you really were. So you had to kind of pay attention a little bit extra and realize, okay, double check your altitude. All right, so we're coming in pretty quick. I need to monitor my temp. I'm going to come up on prop. Prop will help. Put some load on my engine. We'll lose a little bit of speed, but we gain a lot of fuel efficiency, and that will also cut our temperature burn, or temperature gain down. You see we're still gaining, but we're not bad. And we don't lose much speed. We lost a little bit of speed, so. So I'm going to fly right on the deck. You do get cold up at altitude, so a lot of people, you know, if you're having issues with some overheating on some of your bigger aircraft too, is take them up to altitude. You know, like on a long flight, grab some altitude. You want altitude anyways, so like with my new Proteus, I'm gonna try to do arid biome up to the Arctic with some containers. I have to find how the hell I'm gonna get them out of the water though. That's one of the things that devs didn't really do a great job, is like they did a great job with the arid island, making it so that you have bases that have containers, seaports, ground ports, and airports. But they need to kind of do a rerun on the Arctic. Okay, there was an enemy right there. So we got a fast boat. We'll come up. Let's start running in on a run here. We have to be careful. We're not going that slow. Ooh, we got a lot of enemy here. We'll try to strafe out this guy. Okay, they're a little high. All right, we already lit him on fire, so nice. He's already toasted up. I'm gonna do a run, kind of a loop out so they can't shoot at me too much. These guys are playing bumper cars. I'm just kind of seeing where I'm at here. I want to find him again. I really wish we had head tracking. Head tracking would be choice, because I could really move my head where I want to. Eventually, I'll do a stream on VTOL VR, where you know, I really can control my head where I should be looking. Okay, need to kind of don't want to face that big guy's gun. We're going right into him, so. Oh, we got a bunch of them here. I need to pick my targets here. They're all next to each other. I can't keep a predictable angle. I need to keep moving here. Like, see, he's trying to shoot at me the whole time. They're right on top of each other, which is making it uggy. Getting a little bit of a turning tendency because I'm using that single aileron. You see how my ailerons go single aileron? I am getting a little turning tendency, which is, so I might put a spoiler on there. I don't know. So I'll do spoiler-ons. Ooh. Okay, I've got him separated from the pack, so he's gonna get a run. So I'm just kind of getting set up for him. I'm trying not to stay stationary too much for that reason there. You wouldn't want to do a 0G like that. You would send every bit of dirt in the cockpit right in your face. So you generally want to keep positive Gs on all your turns. You don't want to be doing negative Gs. They just put dirt in your face, and they're not good on the airframe. A little bit of hit on the tail there. Let me kind of wiggle out. I don't know what he's doing guns-wise on me, so. Oh, I just got hit. We're in deep trouble. He hit something. He cooked that aileron. He cooked that aileron right there. Ding. All right, let's see. I need to come in for a. I'm trying. Oh, he got my elevator too. Let me see where we're at for a base here. I need to figure out a place to either splash it down or land. Let's come in here. See if we can't limp back to base here. It's going to be a little bit hairy. I can do, you know, like I was saying, you can do some roll with your rudder. Snap roll in it. So, let's check my temp. Temp's high. I'm going to come down on the throttle just a little bit. Again, a lot of people seem to be afraid to do that in game. Let me see what you have. Yes, I have my my Sky Raiders set up like that. It has 4 cannons, and they're kind of quad delayed. They almost do like an alternation pattern. It's like dunk, 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 dunk. And so not only does it sound really cool, it alternates them out. But yeah, that's what my Sky Raider does. I just haven't put any logic in it yet. I just did a quick hookup. You know, they're not going to be hanging off there. I'm either doing pods, or I need to get them outside the propellers, so I have to redo my fuel a little. I have more than enough fuel. That was step 1, was make sure I have enough fuel I can hide some of that drum with XML pieces, so that's probably what I'll end up doing, is hiding the ammo drums with XML pieces. So I'll probably, like, I don't need all the fuel I have in my wings. They go all the way to the tips. Fuel will probably go about the first quarter to third of the wing, and then I'll put the guns outside of that. That'll keep them outside the prop, but where they are, and then I'll XML to hide them. So let's go ahead and let's set up for an emergency landing here. So I want to go prop back for, so I want to go landing prop about 30%. I want to start coming back on my throttle. I need to get slowed down. We're already here, so I need to get slowed down. I'm behind the airplane. 100 knots is about my approach. As you can see, we're stalling already. We don't have a ton of wing, and with limited control surfaces that I have now, I need to get my gear down really fast, so I need to put in all my flap. So I'm going to come in at about 100 knots. Because we're low on control surfaces here, I'm going to come in a little fast. All right, here we come. So let's check my gear. My gear are down, so that gear down speed's fine. I was afraid. So like right now, my aileron, I can't roll out to the right enough. I have to kind of wiggle it with my yaw to get it there, because they damaged that aileron on my port side. Ooh, whoa, whoa, light, I'm getting too slow, getting too slow, getting too slow. All right. This is going to be hairy to land, because I don't have enough roll with that. So I'm going to come around for one quick try to do a crash landing here. I don't mind if I hit the prop. We're doing a crash landing here. I just don't want to ball it in. So again, I have player damage on. So if I die, it's a die. So all right, as I trade my lift vector here, I do need a lot of throttle, and it's kind of stupid to do with missing an aileron. As you can see, I'm kind of in trouble here. I need to do opposite yaw, try to get that thing wiggled over. I shouldn't have turned on my bad, I turned right to my bad aileron, so I'm going to roll all the way around, because I have a bad aileron there, so I have to be careful. All right, so that was hairy because I have I'm missing an aileron. So I have to kind of relearn how to fly because he damaged my aircraft, so I'm kind of yawing kicking my tail a little bit to try to get that right wing to dip. I see the water. I'm just trying to relearn how to fly this aircraft because I'm damaged. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to do a full rollout to get us resituated. So I have to kind of come in perfect, or else I'm going to run into trouble here. So, all right, get a little bit lost here. I need to find where I'm at. All right, I see where I'm at now. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit more yaw. You can yaw in a plane, but what happens is the wind pushes your fuselage back, so you have to keep that in mind. I don't want to roll any. I keep trying to roll to fix it, and I keep screwing myself up. So I need to do a full rollout to get back where I want to be. And I'm going way too fast, but I'm going to chop it and drop it here in a second. Okay, we're good. I'm going to just leave a little bit extra right wing down in, and I'm going to try to bring it in there. So we're stalled. It's fine. Come back up over 100 knots. We'll get our yeah, see, I see that causes my wing to dip, because you get torque effects in game, so I need that extra roll on my aileron. So I need to be really careful here how I do this. So I'm gonna just land on any flat surface I can. And so I can't do big power changes. Big power changes give me too much torque. So here we go, coming in. So see how it's dropping me? It's that torque. The torque off my motor. I'm losing the torque on my motor. So that was, that's actually pretty realistic as I made big power changes. The plane wants to torque opposite to the propeller, and see, I don't have an aileron. That aileron got shot out, so. But we survived. So this plane, I'm really loving this plane. It's flying well. It's running well. It has its job. The coolest feature to me is that this has the same engine. Like here, I'll show those who. I think I actually did this before as I was trying to start making this a video, and then I ended up doing it as a live stream. So some of you didn't see, but let me show you here. So let's save this really quick. This is kind of where it's going to be. And so if you look at the nose of this, right, you see the color scheme, you see this engine. So all I did was I started by yanking one of Proteus's engines off. So I yanked this engine off Proteus. So that's the engine. So that's why it has that shape, is it's it's off of Proteus. So would you guys like to see a flight of Proteus? Those videos are coming up tomorrow. I'll do a quick little sneak peek of Proteus. Let me find, I think it's tomorrow's video is Proteus. I'll do a sneak peek of Proteus for you guys tomorrow. Yeah, so if you watch tomorrow's video, it'll be out at 5:30 Eastern Time. Let's read chat really quick. Yeah. Let me see what, I'm just reading back to where I was missing. Let's see. More power out of a preset. Yeah, presets are set to be pretty much, I think, 7.5 is going to be best. Let's see what else. Stuka die brakes. Probably not. I can get the speed down to 100 knots. Any slower than that, I'm stalling. So 100 knots is really good speed for that. This doesn't have much momentum. You know, if it was a bigger plane, it would have a little more momentum. Let me see. Oh, you're asking about trying to make Stuka die brakes. You can pull a pilot out. Any ideas? So for so some sort of die brake, what I would do is either do some sort of spoiler on the top of the wing, or and then maybe counteract it with an extra fin on the inside the nose where you can't see it, and then have it essentially give it back to you. Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a pusher, a twin engine pusher fighter at some point. I was thinking of doing a flying wing though. I'd really like to do a flying wing, so I think twin pusher flying wing. All right, so let's do a quick Proteus here. So Proteus is in the career build series tomorrow. Proteus is been what I've been obsessed with lately, so do a quick walk around of Proteus. Proteus working really well. Flies pretty realistically, operates in all manner of sea, land, air. So let's go ahead and we'll jump in. So you come in on the hips, so you can jump up on either hip. You have your ground services panel. You have your entrance. So these are going to be sealed volumes so that you can, you get any water in here, you don't have to worry about it. It'll pump itself out. Come into the main cargo bay here. We have our cargo nose. So we'll do this. Yeah, flying wing is what I'm thinking for a multi. So here's the nose for Proteus. So that's fully sealing. I have a container loader that will snap to the front here and can load a couple containers in there. So we'll go ahead and close that up. And we'll let that close on its own. We'll hear it click behind us. Some equipment. I had an elevator in here, but the elevator was causing me problems, so I got rid of it. We can go in our tail. Look, have a little looky-loo out the back. Yeah, we can hear the nose lock up. Yes, I have heard of the YB49. It'd be kind of cool to make something that big. So upper deck Proteus. A lot of this was in the video in a couple days, but little sleepy's there. We have some seats. Let's get Proteus started up, and we'll just do we'll take off. We'll land in the ocean, and then we'll come back. So go ahead. We'll go master power avionics, all lit up. We'll go beacon. We'll taxi out on engines number 2 and engine number 3. So there's 1 and 3. Go ahead and set our prop, 10% taxi out. Go ahead and take the brakes off. I did some XML grip on the brakes so that the brakes will actually hold us now with a little bit of prop in. All right, we'll set taxiing out. I'm not digging that new click noise on the throttle, really not. All right, so Proteus coming out. So this is max size for these hangars. I have a folding tail, which I could probably, you know, I can't fold it in there, so once it comes out. All right, we'll go ahead and we will do the tail fold. Tail's coming up. That'll click into place in a second here. Go ahead and set my running way heading in for the autopilot. We'll do 210. Go set heading hold. Go ahead and set an altitude. We'll just do 1,500 feet. We'll do a VFR departure. Set altitude hold. And I can do asymmetrical thrust on my engines. That's one of the reasons I have it set up this way. If you notice, all my throttles move together. But if I want to make a right turn, I can bring down that starboard engine. And I can let my engines do asymmetrical thrust for me. That's what you'd really do with a big aircraft, get it turning. I'll start up 1 and 3. Stabilize generator. 3 is coming up. I'm sorry, 3 was up. 4 is coming up. And stabilize generator. Now let's taxi out, and we'll get ready for takeoff. Flaps coming to 20 degrees for takeoff. I haven't taken off with 2 engines. It should be able to. I don't go full power on this on takeoff. Something like this, you wouldn't go full power on takeoff anyways. That click is brutal, dude. All right, so let's go ahead. We are clear for takeoff. Let's go ahead and have strobes, taxi landing lights. I have to move the inboard landing lights. They're hitting the windows too much. They need to go. It probably just get rid of them. I have tip landing lights. That's fine. Final approach path is clear. I like these big obstructed views. That's how you really have them. You know, you have these. You know, you don't have great visibility on these planes. You don't need it. All right, let's go ahead and let's set prop for takeoff. All right, prop is set. Flaps set. Clear for takeoff. So I'm nowhere near full throttle here. All right, coming on up. Gears coming up. Positive rate. Gear up. 3 degree. They're transit, and now they're locked. Let's go flaps up over 100 knots. Let's go ahead and we will set our autopilot on. So autopilot master's coming on. All right. So we'll do a climb checklist. Gear is up. Flaps are up. Climb thrust we need to set. So we'll set our climb thrust. Or climb prop. Prop pitch for climb. And we're going up to 1,500 feet. So we are 500 for 1,500. And we'll just do a little outside view here. All right, landing lights coming off, taxi lights coming off, climb checklist complete. Leveling off 1,500 feet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and we'll do a landing in the ocean. So I'm just going to go autopilot off. And we'll do a quick descent to ocean landing checklist. So gear stay up. Flaps are going to go to 45 degrees. Just gonna come back and turn around so towards the island, and we'll land on the island again after this. Where is the island is the question. There it is. All right. So we'll start to, we want to do landing prop. Prop is set for landing. And we're coming down, we're just descending. Let me just kill this. I'm gonna reduce the sound just a hair. There we go, just a little bit loud. All right, we need to be careful when you have a glassy ocean. You really can't tell how high you are, so we need to keep an eye on it. We have a lot of flap in here. That keeps our deck angle low. You notice how our nose seems a little bit low. That's because we have a lot of flap in there. So we're starting to slow down, and we're just going to settle in. A little bit of flare, not much. And we're down. All right, so let's go thrust to idle, and we'll settle right in here. All right, so there's Proteus in the water. And if we need to turn in the water, we can turn really well because we have asymmetrical thrust, so we'd go up and we'd start turning. And as you can see, we can do a nice tight turn in position because we have you know, we have asymmetrical thrust. So let's go ahead, we'll bring our thrust all the way back. A little bit different procedure, taking off in the water. We don't want to take, we normally take off about 20 degrees of flaps. We do 30 degrees of flaps on the water. We want a little bit of extra. And we also want to go all the way up to our next manifold setting here, next notch. And that's going to be our takeoff. That just gives us a little bit of extra thrust to get out of the water. So before takeoff checklist will be, what's our heading currently? 358, let's put that in, 358. That allows me to quickly click on the autopilot if I want to. Gear's going to be up, brake is off, flaps are set, prop is set, taxi landing lights are coming on, and we're ready for takeoff. Airspeed's alive, thrust is set. And start pitching. And we're off. Positive rate. Gear is already up. Over 100 knots. Flaps are coming up. Flaps are up. Autopilot's coming on. And there's Proteus back in the air. Alright, climb prop is set. Climb checklist. We'll do that. Should be doing our items before we call for the checklist. So climb checklist. Gear is up. Flaps are up. Props are set. Landing lights and taxi lights are off. Climb checklist complete. All right, let's go ahead and we'll do a landing here at the airport. So I need to we'll level off 1,500 feet. I'm actually going to go down to 1,000 here. That's pattern altitude. So we're set up for a downwind. So we want to go about a 030, something like that. 035 maybe? I can't remember what it is. I think it's a 031. That's the reciprocal, so 031. Alright, and so we're on a big downwind here for that. So let's go ahead and we'll cut our base here. So I'm going to take the autopilot off. We'll fly by hand. So we'll do descent checklist. So I want below 200 knots, gears coming down. We're in transit, gears down and locked. Flaps are coming to 45 degrees. Let's start slowing down here. We don't need to be going this fast, but we are pretty far away, so. Try to visually pick it up here in a second. I'm going to roll my wing out so I can visually see where I'm at. Okay, we're coming in a little bit. It's this island here. These islands are right next to each other. This is the one we're aiming for right there. So we're on a big right base to final here. Should be able to land, like, yeah, I talked about that on 2 engines. I haven't really done too much 2-engine testing. It should definitely be able to cruise on 2 engines. It's got more than enough power. So I have my autopilot and my screens integrated now. They were integrated for the helicopter for Katydid, but I had yet to integrate them for a plane, so that's all set up now. All right, gear is down, 3 green. Flaps are set. We're clear for the approach, so we'll put on a taxi light, clear for approach. That's how we used to do it in the airlines to remember. Clear for the approach. We're on an extended base. I'm going to start slowing down. We can get really slow in this sucker. It's got a big wing, a lot of flap. You know, we can get down to like 55 knots in this, so. You know, that fighter that I just made there, that needs a, or actually, we're going to land on a different runway. We'll land on this runway here. All right, we're doing base to final. Slow down a little bit. The final check, geared down, 3 green. A little bit high, so we're going to drop a little speed and we'll settle in. We're not that high, so we don't want to really put our nose down. We want to do pitch for, we want to do our pitch angle, and then we want to do our throttle for our altitude. So we pretty much set our pitch angle, and then we do our throttle for our altitude. So we're good here. We're a touch low, but we're not bad. A little bit of power. This is a short runway, so I'm just keeping an eye on how short this runway is. Okay, and we'll just straighten out a little bit there. We're down. Start putting the brakes in. And more than enough runway. We can actually turn in on the intersection here, so let's Let's turn on the runway here. Bring up this one here. That'll help us turn. So we can turn in position using asymmetrical thrust. As you can see, we're making no forward progress by putting that #1 engine up. Hey Kermit, how's it going? By putting that #1 engine up, I can rotate in position, as you can see. So, you know, it makes it really maneuverable having a multi-engine. And now all I have to do is I come back with the down arrow. Now they're all synced. And now I come back up on all of them. And we can stop that rotation. So you see, this thing's super maneuverable, even though it's huge. All right, I'm going to ask for a... we'll quickly do the flow. You want to do the flow before you call for the checklist. So, flaps coming up. Props coming set. My props are way too high. I need to bring my props down. Didn't go to landing prop, but that's not a big deal. So props now are set for taxiing on the ground. So this makes it so that I'm not going too fast on the ground. And I could do without that clicking noise. The issue I have here is this taxiway is a little bit narrow. So I have to be careful. If the wheel comes off, I can get stuck on that lip. And it makes it so that I have to kind of power it up too much. So I have to be careful here. So I'm going to use asymmetrical thrust to get in the hangar again. So I'm going to I have to kind of visually watch this a little bit. All right, let's look up. All right, so kind of see that center spar? I'm watching that center spar to align myself. Checking, so I don't need asymmetrical thrust right now. I'm lined up pretty good with just steering with the tail wheel. So I'm using the center spar here, trying to line it up with my nose. And you can see how that lines us right up in the center. Oh, tail. Let's fold the tail. So let's go ahead and come up on the brakes until that tail's folded. And we'll go ahead and set the brake, set the parking brake until that tail folds. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, the foam, that was the nice thing about having, I didn't do too much RC planes, but the nice thing with having them foam was they were a little bit easier to repair. You know, it wasn't like you had to redo the skin. You could just hopefully put some new foam in, get a new foam wing or whatever. You know, recut the flaps and put in new servos, or what, you know, hook them up to the old servos. I crashed mine one time. I was in low light and I did a loop. I did a roll and a loop way too close to the ground, and I did like 3 of them. And then the sun was getting low, so it was that really flat light that you can't see anything. And the last one, I was like, instead of being completely inverted, I was like 10 degrees off and yanked it right in the ground. Yeah, I've never flown an RC helicopter. Helicopters are the devil. So Proteus, as you can see, works really well. Land, sea, air. Should be able to hold it. It hauls the cargo containers, no problem. I screwed up too. I'll show you something here. Look at the fuel. Oh no, it's I have infinite fuel on. No, I had a lot in my base. So see how I hold 35,000 pounds on either side. I have to be careful that I don't take off with too much fuel on one side, because I'll just be way overweight on that one side. Let's go ahead and do a shutdown here. So we'll shut down 4. Generator engine, 3 gen engine, 2 gen engine, 1 gen engine. So this should work really well. This is a fun aircraft, and yeah, it's a lot of fuel. It has 70,000 pounds of fuel in there. Plenty of fuel, should have no problem. That little jaunt we took out there, what did it use? Used, what is it, 500. So now it used about 400 on one side. Yeah, no, it used more than that. What did it use? We used about 5,500 pounds of fuel. So, you know, 5,500 pounds of fuel for that. So it wasn't, not too bad, you know. But definitely this is a fun plane. I'm going to enjoy using this. A little bit more complicated. You have to pay attention. I can do instrument approaches in this now. I have my ADF needle in there, so I can do instrument approaches. So this thing's pretty much all set to go. You can do both seats. You have to click the seat select button, and then you can do, as you can see, I can fly from this seat now. So jump back in, fly from the other seat. Transponder locator's already in there. I have fuel crossfeed, so like, see, this one's low. I can crossfeed to this side. Need to add in some need to add in some, what do you call it, some dings, some buzzers, some caution and warning panel, but that's what this screen saved for, is my caution and warning panel. I need to work on that. All my lighting in here. I have my tail unfold there. What else haven't I gone over? These are all my props. I can individually set the pitches of my props. Generally, I can do them with 1 and 2, though. As you can see, they're linked. But then, like, say I wanted to change number 3. You can see I can change number 3 by itself, and then I can just bring them all the way down to 0 and then resync them. Or I can manually sync them. A backup compass. It's going to have an APU. No APU in there yet. There'll be APU and ground power. So if you are plugged in to the ground, you click that, you'd select your ground power. That's how it worked in the planes I've flown, is you select your ground power in the cockpit, turn on your APU, and then we'll have APU temp volts. And then these are going to be some more probably informations on there. But and then these up here are your batteries. You have a small battery per engine, so you get battery and volts, battery volts. I haven't hooked up the volts yet. But coming along, I'm going to probably add a flight engineer station here, which will have just most of the gauges duplicated over here. Seats for, was it 10? 10 in here. Sleepy's in there. There'll be some med station in here. But it's coming along nicely. So this is really moving along, and so it's to the point where I'm really happy with it. So these are going to get switched to grippers all the way down. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tracks 1 in, and that way if I want to make something that has grippers, it can go on the inside track, and then containers can go on the gripper track. That's too bad. No, the south, yeah. Shooting things in the south doesn't surprise me that they would shoot people's property down. They're all for property rights until it's somebody else's. And they're happy to shoot yours down, which is sad. So this is the ground services panel. So you click this, and you can fill your aircraft with fuel, and you can hook up ground power there. So, but this is working really well. I'm really in love with this craft. This is fun. I enjoyed making that fighter today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a lot of fun. I needed something new for the Stormworks Warzone. That's why there haven't been any Warzones out in a little while, as I didn't want to use the same old vehicles. I still need to update the SU-24 and finish that, but that will be more of these videos, kind of doing it in these videos. So I screwed up the whole tailplane on this. I need to fix that, but yep, so I think we're going to finish up there, guys. Really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Kind of some sneak peeks on what's happening. So this will be coming out in the Warzone videos. I wanted to build a big single engine fighter that was based off of the engines I'm using in most of my big planes now. And so this should be all set to go. Or, it's close. Just pretty much hide microcontrollers, put some guns in here, put some hard points. I have a weapons microcontroller already made. It just needs to be put in. And then, so this should be in Warzone pretty quick. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.